WesWes, y'all.
Welcome to the Back on 135, brothers.
Yeah, shout out. That's what I mean.
So EHO, every hustle.
EHC, every hustle counts.
Yeah.
EHC, every hustle counts.
Shout out to the brother Solo.
Yeah, shout out to SL, bro. If every hustle counts, man. You know, we just put it on for. This is one of our original friends when we started making music together.
Yeah.
You know, and he's worked his way up and made his own brand, and we just thought we'll rock it together. You know, why not put on?
So who come up with the name?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, literally, the bird just dropped off these sets, like, as, you know what I mean? He's like, bro, I haven't seen you guys in a long time. It's sort of an excuse to come see you, as well as, like, you know, come give you guys something, you know? So, me and Gesture from the bird, so we thought, why not rock it, given the opportunity that he just, you know, just timing, just random timing for sure.
Yeah.
But, bro, I chucked my jumper over, and when I hopped in the car, and then when we pulled up, I was like, so would it be gay if I took off my jumper and we're wearing the same shirt? And he's like, nah, awkward. Where, G?
But in my head, I was like, yes, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's pretty cool design, eh? Like, it's got the lettering over the big letters. You know,
I think he's been doing this merch for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
For some years now. So
For some years, yeah.
it's been spread about the music game and, you know what I mean? Just like the hip-hop culture scene, if anything. Yeah.
It's good though. People are like doing this. Like there's printed stuff everywhere now, eh? You know,
it's mean to see, eh?
Because
everyone's doing that.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. It's good because you don't tend to see people buying the main gears like Adidas or Nike and all that.
I started noticing that too. Like I started noticing that a lot of people are like buying like more local merch now, rather than, you know, like buying like Nike and stuff. Like even when like you're out south, like you'll see like a lot of like Trench Fit or Hustler or EHC or G'd Up, you know, and it's good to see too, you know, everybody supporting like local merch.
Yeah, J Hustle, you know, all of these, you know, we're more familiar with the Southside brands. Sorry to all the other sides.
Sorry, everyone out
their
west.
brands, like there's too many to name, but we're just naming the ones and you know that we know of. For sure.
Yeah. Nah, but it's good though. It's good, like you said, eh? How people doing that kind of stuff. It's like, because I think Ace Color is like the main people that do the...
Yeah, for sure.
Like those guys are killing it, eh? Like, man, I want to see the day where our people like going to be on that side of things, eh?
Oh, bro, the production manufacturing,
the
you know what I mean?
manufacturing, man.
100%.
You know? Because those AS Color guys, they got a sus day. Like, they know our sizes and that. Like, you get the Chinese...
The way that we like how it feels, you know, the thickness, the sizes, the way the neck feels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right down, so... AS Color. Even these are pro clubs, I think, so.
Yeah, pro clubs.
So I think the bird just kept their classic to the south, to the hood, you know, the tight neck.
Because Pro Club's been around for a long time, huh?
Yeah, 100. I think it's like an old school hip hop, iconic urban brand. Yeah.
Mainly West Coast, like a lot of West Coast people, like in America, like in the States, tend to wear like, you know, Pro Club. Plus there's like a good fitting as well, nice and thick.
And it's come down out south. Like, it's been, how long has that brand been out south?
But if you're rocking the Chinese ones, everyone knew, bro, because it was like see-through. And it was thin there, like.
Especially if you shop at Relon.
Straight had to buy double ones, 2 for $5, brother. Double it up, geez, to make it look like a pro club. But, you know, for me personally, it was like, had to beg my parents to buy me like $50 t-shirt that's blank, like. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean.
$50 t-shirt that's blank, damn. But that's the thing now, eh? Like, I don't sit here, like I said, no labels, eh? People are like trying to keep it real.
Everyone's proud to wear local brands, you know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
As before, it was like, that's some knockoff, you know what I mean? But now everyone's like, that's my homie, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to be tied in now with it, you know what I mean? I remember this dude was like chunk open at the dairy, trying to slang, oh, shut up. You know, Nick Minna, everyone's like, yeah, gee, I just cop me some new, you know, whatever. But everyone's out here making it, and the community's tied in, at least with music, what we know. You know, all the people in music are like rocking each other's brands, investing in each other's like podcasts and whatnot. You know what I mean? All of this stuff ties into that culture of like leveling up, and it's mean to see.
Yeah, because I always saw Southside, like, because I've never lived out there.
Yeah,
I've only grew up here. I got family over there and stuff, and like, you know, growing up, there's always that West Side, South Side kind of thing. It's not. It's a rivalry, but not like a hard out rivalry. It's just like
Never heard of it.
you never. No, I mean, it's like a lot of banter.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys got family around out west?
Yeah, I got family out west. It's just different, you know, like the way that we dress, also the way that we talk as well. Like, you know, you can tell that you're from South Auckland, like definitely the way that we speak. Over here is like they speak like, you know, like proper English, but us we like shortcut our words, you know. It's like this slang into our words.
This is so different. Like even the truck driver at work, you know, he'll pull up like this.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Oh, you Southsiders always come with the one news, eh? Hear about that shooting last night? Like, why are you telling me, bro?
To be fair though, like our west been having some trouble too with the
for
shootings
sure.
and that.
The whole city, bro.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere.
The
Like,
whole country, if anything.
Yeah, I always feel like Southside gets the worst rap. Gets the worst rap.
Easy. You know what I mean?
Everyone's like there's like a stereotype, eh?
yeah.
Straight to Southside when you talk about something negative, when you find that, especially on the news, especially on the Herald. Like when you read the Herald, it comes on the social media. Like if there's a crime happening in the whole city of Auckland, there's a crime in Auckland.
Yeah.
But if there's a crime in Papatui, there's a crime in South Auckland.
For sure.
They always throw the South in, like. But if it's anywhere else in Auckland, it's just Auckland.
Yeah.
I
So
just
if
feel like
it's in a paddock in Pukekohe, that's South Auckland.
Yeah, man. Now, but you guys are a rap group?
no, so we're both like you know, just two different artists, but like we do music together.
Oh yeah.
Like me and this guy started doing music together like I think like 2010 or 11, I think.
Yeah, when we were still in high school.
Still in high school, yeah.
You know, it was community center.
2010.
Yeah.
So who was the influences back then, 2010, when you guys were in high school?
Ooh.
America.
America, yeah.
America. We looked at everyone as like,
But me, like for me as well, like I like looked up to like mostly like the local like artists as well. Like used to listen to a lot of like Face Killer and Erman.
Facts.
And
Rest in
also
peace, Erman.
like the movement.
Rest in peace, bro.
David Dallas, like, and they're all like from Southside. Like used to listen to all the Southside. Like Colorway was like a massive thing like in Southside when they released their music. Like Put Your Colors On.
Yeah.
Like everybody wanted to be like, you know, like that. That was like the face of like how South Auckland was. Like,
Because was that the first hip hop record label in South Auckland?
Nah, Dawn Raid.
Dawn Raid would have been the first.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Pioneers, yeah. And even before that, there was other stuff, but you know, like notably Dawn Raid and Colorway, sort of around the same time, but Dawn Raid like being real pioneers.
Yeah.
Pioneers, yeah.
I watched the documentary. Like, do you guys see? Man,
Bro, learned a
We
lot of
watched
things
it
from there,
together,
bro. We
yeah.
went together to go watch like our music team. Like, you know, we went, all of us went and we watched the movie.
so interesting, eh? Like, I didn't know how big. I knew they were big,
Yeah.
but you got to see how they did it. Like, and that part when they told about how it was Papatui, yeah. They had all these businesses
Yeah, they
around.
shout out the city, baby.
Yeah, man. But like, it's like, damn. Like, I didn't get to know that part of the whole story, yeah. But I knew there was that nightclub, Papatui, Chocolate City or something back in the days.
No,
Yeah.
we would have been young as
We would have been young, but it's still something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Pep Club Rooms right now, but
Was it? Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those buildings that's always just been like a bit called something else, but the same thing, the same people.
But I think Dawn Raid in the day, were they?
Oh no, it was like a barber shop. I think initially they used to sell t-shirts at the flea market, bro. It buzzed me out watching it because those are the t-shirts you used to see everyone wearing. And there was like Look Sharp Tonga t-shirts, like the Tongans had their ones, and I think Look Sharp Fiji, you know, and they had like the funny coconut, you know, like stuff that you're like, hey, that's on a t-shirt. Like when we were kids, like it's an island of genders or Mr. Pepello on the forklift and stuff like that. It was mean, so I think it just initially blew up. Then they copped that store in Hunter's Plaza,
Yeah.
and they grew that, got the barber shop, and they rented the office across the road, and that's where they put up the record label. So like as I grew up, like we'll cruise past and there was just stories about it, you know, and there was still the big mural of Brother D and Eddie's and Mariko. What's his name? What's the Tongan brother's name?
Oh, Divolo.
Devolo, you know, Alfrisk and that. It was up there for ages, like way past the time that they had left the buildings and everything. But as I grew up, they weren't in the buildings, but you know, we all knew that's where they worked their label, bro.
So back at your high school days, like seeing all that happening outside, like was there any avenues in high school, like talent quest or anything that you guys were interested in, or were you just like were you starting to do music then? Like, what was the like in the real beginning? Was it like trying to just?
I think like the first experience that I've like went through as like becoming a music artist. I remember when they had this I think it was like a competition, but Savage, DJ CXL, and some other lady, I forgot who it was, but they were hosting it at Tasha Clear, but I was only like 14 at that time. But you know, in the Manukau careers, like, you know, you'll see like notice boards, like things that are happening within the week, like in the community. So I seen that there was like a talent quest happening. And bro, I like literally like it was the next day, so I literally like wrote like this rap that I wrote down. It's called Every Day's a Wish List, and I performed it like in front of like a whole crowd, like auditioning, and I was reading it off my phone. And Savage told me, if that's how you're gonna be an artist, like reading your stuff off your phone, then I don't think this for you. Then like I was like, oh, bro, I took that personally, and I kept going with music.
Yeah. But that wouldn't been see, you know how you remembered that?
Yeah.
And you got that advice from someone like Savage.
Yeah.
I mean, what did that mean to you? Like, of course, like for you, we like, okay, I'll show you. Like, you can go that way, or because you can easily like give up, listen to him, give up, but you didn't.
Definitely. It's like a make or break, like a make or break situation. So like, you know, I didn't go back home crying, or like I was like, oh, now I know, like, you know, I gotta come prepared, you know. But at the age of 14, bro, just, you know, just happy and excited to like go and perform something that you just created. Yeah. You know, that feeling is like, you know, it's like, it's a mean feeling to do.
So, Everyday Wish, was it?
Every day's a wish list.
Every day's a wish list. So it was about like what you wish you could have every day? Or was it what was about your goals?
Yeah, basically like, you know, like just living like every day is a wish list that you're just ticking off things, like, you know. I'm just like being grateful for like being in the present type of thing. Also like, you know, trying to strive for like, you know, better futures and that. Also with like, you know, how Polynesian families, like when you say you want to be a rapper, like they'll like shun it, like they'll be like, nah, go work at a factory or go get a trade or something. But yeah, that's what I loved, and I loved like, you know, doing music. So I wrote that just to express like what I love and show them that like this is what I love, you know, even if they don't like it or not. But
because I don't know what it's like when you guys were at school, but growing up at school and loving music, and like, you know how you said you thought that this is gonna be a pathway for me to move on to the future. My parents said, "Nah, be a lawyer or be a, you know,
a lawyer."
What they say, you know, that kind of stuff. Or go to university or something like that. But man, like I didn't like. For me, I would think like, okay, I'm gonna look up to people. There's Dawn Ray out there. I'll look up to those guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get where they're going. Is that the sort of, or was it bigger than that?
Nah, it was nothing. It was like
just enjoy doing it.
Oh, not like not thinking about the future. Just
nah, it was just something to do.
Yeah,
you know, idle hands make the devil's work, and a lot of that community center was just troubled youth. Like they're just trying to put them into doing something. You know, if you're out there, as soon as you finish school, they're hanging around the dairy until nighttime. You know, so. What they invite them there. We got a feed there, PlayStation, you know. And I was there. I didn't go to Southern Cross, but I was right next to Southern Cross. So my social worker used to take me there, and like I was exploring things that I wanted to do as a, you know, getting in trouble with the police, and then, you know, they kind of see like maybe we can steer these kids right before they like lock into what they want to get into, you know. So I was one of them kids, you know, and he was there just. You know, had a passion for music, but I didn't even know nothing about music. My parents didn't play no instruments, ain't no musical, nothing. It was just like, we tried league. It's like, bro, I was itchy ass with the ground. You know, like, it was me being with the Warriors, but like, come on, no, that's not my thing, bro, you know? And he's like, gee, we just built this studio, check me in. And I met this dude, you know, and it's just buzzy that like, bro, 11 years later, like literally we were kids. And we went through a lot together. From then, just a random connection. Like, met this dude. Oh, he makes beats. He's gonna try rapping, and I was like, I'm just gonna try rapping, bro. You know, I'm gonna try. This is Buzzy doing this shit. You know, it feels official. All the homies, like the homie SL who made this, he's got his stuff popping. He's had like studios. He's got like businesses. You know, lawn mowing. He's got like printing. You know, all of this stuff going for him. The brother Silas, they're this group called Blackwood Exit, and the brother DTAF, they're all like individually doing. They all got small business. Silas is a monster in Rewa. That dude, you know what I mean? Next to a lot of other characters, they got like Marlin City and all of that. They got like Rewa Hard sponsoring they're throwing full on community events. They're throwing stuff that the council wouldn't pay for. You know what I mean? All out of they learn how to maneuver it through like Prestige. Shout out to Prestige Hustler, Jay Hustle. He's what is it called? Passion to Profession and what's it? One Mic Records. What was the
Rep FM?
Rip FM. If you've heard of them, bro. Pioneers. These dudes been leading the way. You know, they've been leading the way for the people, for real. And you know, all of these characters still inspire us today. But back then, it wasn't a viable path. You know, our parents were like, we just happened to like just keep making music like. So like we've just been rapping through high school, so like not even playing rugby, not even studying. So like, might as well just go and do it. You know? So we just keep going, and now it's a viable option. It's buzzy as like you go and perform, you can get paid. People listen to your music, you can get paid. And like, bro, my parents buzzed out at a certain point. You know, this dude lived with me long. So sorry to be long-winded about it, but you know, it's been a long journey now that you put in perspective of. Was it a viable option? Was there any like pathways for this to be a reality? There was none. People, you perform at a talent show at Mangry Town Centre and get a picture of Savage. You know, my perspective. Sorry, like, you know, I'm like, is this what it is? You go fly over there, like Savage cracked over A'One. You know, before A'One became A'One. In that movie, they said on the flight there. 24, 26 hours, Lonely blew up. You know, he was no one when they lifted off Auckland Airport. They landed, A'One was like the man, bro. You know? Like, oh, and we got a feature, you know? God, yeah. So, like, all of that was inspiring, but it's like, go through Dawn Raid or nothing, you know? And then, like, the other aspect is like, fuck this music shit. Like, Colorway, they got music going as well, but they got money somehow, you know how they getting it. And not only Colorway, back then everything was popping, you know.
Straight
A
up.
lot of talent back then.
For sure. In the streets, like there was dudes that was just making like the SingStar mic. You know what I mean? SingStar mic doing it. I don't know how they were doing it, you know, back then. And it was just Bluetooth, CD, and everyone knew who you were. But maybe not at West, but like everyone knew like this one song that one dude made, you know. It's like always South's always had something cooking, always had something popping, even if it's internal, you know. But bro, now I'm so glad that everyone's got money, getting money from all of this, EHC, everything, you know. Sorry about that to be so long-winded, but I'm real proud of this.
No, it's good because this is a long-form podcast.
Nah, for
so
sure.
we can talk for how long we want, man. But it's just interesting to me, like, so what changed, do you think? Like you said, like now it's a viable option when it wasn't before. It was just hard before.
It was hard before. Like,
but so what's changed?
I reckon the things that have changed is the access to things. So back in the days, like, you know, like you had to know somebody who knew somebody in order for you to be able to like do your creative stuff, like. Even with like printing merch or like all of that, everybody all had that, like, you know, their own circle that like, this is it, like what also was saying, like, you know, it's Storm Raid or nothing, like back in the days, or it's Colorway or nothing, you know. These were the only people that had that access to actually like have you sit in the studio, record. But now it's like everything is so digital now, and there's like easier access to like, you know, to pop off in the music now. Like you got a lot of access with like social media, also like how you putting up your music on like platforms now, like online. Like before it was like CDs, you know, and that's the only way that you could make sales or get your like music heard. But now it's like you can just listen to it on the net, like just on a push of a button, you know. So yeah, that's what I believe is like the access has changed now.
So with that, like, do you think competition is more now? Because everybody can do it now.
Definitely.
Like, I think for you guys, you've got experience, like, you know, being been in the game for so long. Like now it's like Access is here now. You've already got the years of experience behind you guys. You're just gonna move forward on the with the Access. Huh?
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a like it's not like Australia, like where the competition is like like hectic, but over here is more like friendly competition.
Oh yeah.
You know? I reckon like a lot of artists, like like fuck, I've seen a lot of collabs from heaps of different artists and like South,
Just try to help each other.
Yeah, and that's like a good thing, because if you see like how Dawn Reid and them did it, like all the music artists that were popping back then, like they all collabed, like even Scribe, like he did that we can't not stop now New Zealand hip hop. Did you see that video clip? How he had all like the creatives, like even from like the graffiti artists to like all different like musos, and also like probably like.
Bro, I've had like old heads like. At my job, we're all packing the boxes, fella, and he's like, gee, do you remember that video clip? And like name all those dudes and the groups they were in. And I was like, hey, and he'll play the songs on the speaker, like, gee, this dude, he's from Wellington. Like, and I just thought they were just like extras in that clip or something, you know what I mean? Some of them rapped, and some of them were just dancing in the background in that Scribe clip. And I was like, hey, but like, some of the older dudes are like, gee, these dudes are icons, like battle rap icons, B-boys, like all of that. And bro, New Zealand's got a deep, rich history. Like through this one dude that I met at my job, they were packing boxes all day, like just walking in circles. Yeah, salad tape box, grab this one. We're just talking the whole time, and he's like telling me about, I used to breakdance, and I went, so I used to. You used to breakdance. Nah, but he was the man, like he was an older cat, like. Probably close to his 50s almost, and like he said, yo, me and my cousins, and like just broke down this massive lineage, like Christchurch up to Wellington, up to Auckland, like all the little Polynesian communities back then, like little Polynesia, or maybe just a little bit after that when South Auckland was getting populated. You know what I mean? All of these little cultural icons, as well as Māori icons, that were like getting mean notoriety and like mean like they were like on free news, like shit that back then was like, gee, dude, we're on. Like, do you see there's some islanders, there's Māoris on there. So like New Zealand's been doing it, and America, like we got deep ties with hip hop and like the culture of it, the street culture tied into South Auckland since its inception, right back to Little Polynesia, to Ponsonby and all of that, to Central Auckland. All of that, like I've had a buzzy journey, bro. Like bouncing and meeting all these people, and like, hey, it goes like back to there. And you're the first kid that was born like here, Your parents came from Niue, like hey, telling me all these stories. No fences, outhouses, like hey, it was like the islands, and telling me, I was like, fuck, buzzy shit, So like a lot. To put that in perspective from where that is to where we are now in the digital age, like the bird said, accessibility to all things, like you, this is 400 a piece, you said, you know what I mean? Like back then you had to have access to massive facilities with massive power, all this analog stuff, you know what I mean? Like the bird said, digital, and all this, the death of like almost labels, to an extent where they learned how to jump on this like streaming game, when the death of CDs and all of that, all the physical stuff, that's what really shifted with the Spotify and people learning about APRA, the accessibility to
What's APRA?
They're the ones who collect royalties for you, and like I don't think they do copyright. They do part copyright, but they collect royalties from live performances, streams, venues, plays, radio, international play. Like I'm probably butchering exactly what they do, but
they're like an agent, like the middleman.
Yeah, you just sign up as a free account. Like for us as musos, we just jump on, register a song, put on the lyrics, and then every time you perform, like this is what you're supposed to do. Not that I really like go and do a performance and then tomorrow I'm gonna log it, bro. Like nah, sure get wasted, sleep, forget about it. But you can get like now being older, we've been like, bro, we missed out on so much opportunity and money, shit that we could have done, agencies and like I don't even know what to call them, all these different companies that do different things for you, license for you, and where it's a couple $100 here, this one's free, they'll do this, and you rack up money, like I've had like a few $100 here and there. That's like, bro, that's buzzy. A couple $100 in my bank account from my music. So, you know, you never know when you need it. And some people got money coming in. Like some other people in the community, a lot of the people in the community, they're not even like, you know, what you would say like mainstream successful. Like, bro, you're banging in Auckland City. That means you're banging in Melbourne. You're banging in Sydney, you're banging, you know what I mean? If you can bang in each city, people rack up your plays, just the islanders and their friends, you know what I mean? And they'll rack up some money for you. Grands if you can really rock it, you know what I mean? So, but that shit's crazy. That's crazy that we're here.
Is all the money in like performing live now? Like, is that where? Is
Yeah,
that what?
most of the money is like.
Is that what the bread and butter is now? Like,
Yeah, I think it's always. I think that's where. Oh no, like probably like because of sales of the CDs. Like back then, would have paid more than like what you're getting paid for like streams on like on like Spotify and that. But yeah, shows is where it's at. Like if you're able to do like, you know, if you fund it yourself. Say if you're an independent artist, you fund it yourself and do a tour around New Zealand, you're probably like triple what you invested just from doing like shows. And then like you could, if you're signed with APRA, you could claim those royalties like performing at like venues, and each venue has like a star rating. So like, you know, that's where how like most of the cover artists, like, you know, they do like do covers at like different bars with a high star rating, and then they get paid through the royalties just because they performed at their club. Doesn't matter like how many people came, but you just performed there.
Yeah, there could be no people there. Like,
Yeah.
you can log that as like the bartender. It doesn't matter. It's that you like performed the music you wrote and the actual audio.
so how does it work? If say you perform in the bar, there's no one there. But how do you get paid then? Like, does that bar pay this APRA to give you guys money
No,
that you're
because
owed?
now that your music is digital, it's a product that can be monetized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if it gets played on radio, it's all of that. You know, APRA will collect for all of that. So if it gets played on My FM over and over, Spotify, Tidal, like Spotify and Tidal and that will all pay you on their own as well. But APRA will collect all these little things. If their algorithm will pick something up on a YouTube video or ad in Brazil or something, they'll you know, it won't catch everything, but it's you know, at least you got a net that catches something, you know, and it's not perfect, but there's recorded music NZ that can like copyright the words that you write, you know what I mean? So if anyone uses your lyrics or even your melodies, you know, they can like get royalties for you and shit. So, but performances, you know, it's hard to get big money performances, you know.
Unless you're with Live Nation.
Yeah, unless you're opening. I don't know what you got to do, but everyone's doing it local. We bar hopping out here. Everyone's at Illusion, you know. If you pop in like Roddy Rich, all the artists when they come to NZ, they'll go to like the same clubs, Illusion, probably just Illusion, you know what I mean, or maybe Nick at Awards.
Wait, where's that place? Illusion.
Oh, K Road.
Okay, right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it independently like that, like, you know, and you're like trying to make money off it, like shows will probably be the best, like, you know, way in order for you to like get like funds, like whether it's like from 150 to like 800 or okay, you know. Like, but yeah, the more hype that you have behind your name, the more people are gonna come through the door. And there's always a way on how you run shows, like,
For sure.
you know, like you could like just pay the bar tab and like, you know, they just keep whatever's at the bar tab and you just hold the doors, sell like $50 a ticket. The venue, of the capacity of the venue, like probably holds like 500 people. You times that by 50, 500, yeah, getting paid. But you just got to be popping and make sure like consistency and like the music, you know, you gotta be the face of your product.
But most people don't want to move out of the rapper shoes. You know, it's like, so it's hard enough to upload the songs. Like, now I gotta stand at the door and promote it, and like people gotta buy tickets and, you know, all of that. Like, most people don't want to drag themselves through it. But like, everyone says they want to make money when they rap. People think when you rap, you just like wait for someone to come sign you. Like back in the 90s, like, gee, get me in the door so I can play my. When they're walking outside, they just start rapping like, yo, bro, it's me, man.
And the first like this, say like,
See them at their car, like, yo, like, bro. People still trying to do that shit, and it's an old format, bro. It don't work these days. You know, it's a whole different game. So you gotta like, if you ain't willing, bro. We seen people, we performed on shows where you just see the pyramid scheme, like, bro. 35 artists, so and it starts at 8 o'clock and it finishes at like 3 o'clock. So I feel sorry for the 3 o'clock, from 1 o'clock, they just get heaps of people. And if all of you bring 3 friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to book out my thing. And I got quarter of the bar tonight since I brought in all these people. So he just goes, boom, show every month, I seen a couple people run a couple shows, and it's just young rappers who are just like, I got booked. Like, everybody, we're gonna fucking blow up tonight. You know what I mean? So everyone's fucking coming out, bro. Mum, dad, uncle, like, fuck, bro, you would not believe the people I've seen in the fucking crowd. Like, Jesus, he put his parents on it. Like, and they're like standing in the crowd, like, oh, gee, good on you, brother. I keep doing your shit, So,
You're a bad man.
you're a bad man, brother. I keep doing your shit. So,
But for advice, like, if you wanna gain a lot of attraction at shows, I reckon just ask the promoter, can you book me in the middle? Because that's when everybody's all in there, from start to finish. Everybody's bringing all their friends in, and then once their friends perform, they all leave, and then the person who's last, I was just sitting with probably 10 to 15 people,
all facing the other way.
but he was the headline.
Oh, hey. Oh.
It's buzzy.
It's
like
buzzy,
some
yeah.
people think, oh, I'm the headline, but they don't know that you're you got no fans. You're not bringing anyone.
Yeah.
So some dudes who are real organized will say, how many tickets did you sell? And they'll organize it. And that sort of like, okay, I'm going to put the dude who sold the most tickets in the middle. If they're smart, most people don't. They're just like, you're on. Can I Bluetooth to your laptop? And that DJ is like, gee, fuck. I told you this.
I told you last week.
I'm sick of these shows. So then you got CD. Like, gee, bro. Yeah, and you got to wait and you got to watch bro, when I first started, you got to watch 15, dudes. Some dudes got 6 songs and they're, I just wanna die. Gee, so
The emo kind of.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. As an artist, you can't expect to be if you think that you're a headline, you just gotta remember that you're a headline on a lineup. It's not your own show. These are not all your fans, But it's go out and do your thing. But
you gotta be calculated.
yeah,
If you really wanna make money, if we're talking about money, is this being a viable career option? Or a means of providing for yourself, like you said, I everyone always thinks a rapper's got to be chained. You can't work. I can't see you at Pack and Save. Gee, I'm telling you, I can't see you at Mangry Pack and Save. Otherwise, you're just And we used to see our idols. This is my perspective, seeing other people and how they used to talk and treat, people. So you sort of didn't even want to rap, be known as a rapper, but now that we want to make money from it, and you get money and people see you make money, they treat you different. So the game is different. So the game's played different, and it's just that whole evolution and then, the ups and the downs of the game. But if you want to make money that way, you got to step out of the artist's shoes. But 9 out of 10, 99.98% of artists do not want to step out of that. You record all of this, you set up the lighting, everything, you've worked out the backing, you edit it, you know what I mean? You've worked out all the technology behind
facts.
it. Bro, 99.98% of these motherfuckers will not want to do it. The 1% that will do it and the other 0.5% that will always think about it and they're like, should I join that 1% and actually do some? No one wants to. They just want to record music and look cool on IG, Sorry to say it, motherfuckers can get mad at me, but that's cool, because that's why you see the studio. He has one mean Instagram preview and everyone's like, he's the next. Then it's just, where's he gone? And then, beep, beep. And I'm with him. I'm like, totally, everyone, I've met people who are like, bro, you're Krook Letter. And I'm like, so I'm in my hivers, bro. Don't shake my hand, bro. In my head, I'm like, gee, why are you shaking my hand? Why you want to take a photo with this? So I got metal grease all over me, bro. What are you up to, bro? It's such a weird relationship, but money, no one really wants to make money, and we've tried, but it's a real hard thing, bro.
It's a real hard process, you got to make sure that if you want to make money of it. Independent, but there's always people behind you that's helping out as well, playing their part. Everybody's got to play their role and held accountable for their role because for me, it's like, like some people can do this, some people can do that. If you're able to like bring them in and do it collectively and make sure everyone's seeing eye to eye, fuck, the table's good, and everyone playing their part, making sure that it's on a roll. There's motion there, But yeah, it's hard to be independent if you want to go to that 1%, like just you doing all of this. It's time consuming. Like you're going to have to sacrifice, like if you have kids, sacrifice nights without like being a father, or sacrifice like days without being a father, And it's like, that's the hardest thing that you have to overcome is like life or your career. Like you have to pick one. It's like you can't do both because it's always going to like fucking clash,
Yeah, no, I feel what you guys are saying, man. Because I look at like exactly what you guys said about you either go when you do this, you gotta go all the way.
Yeah.
And when you go all the way, you know what you're gonna do. Like you wake up in the morning, go to sleep. That whole day has to be focused on that one goal. There can't be any distractions. And you hear these stories all the time with successful people. Like even for me, I look at all these sports people because I'm a sports fan, right?
Yeah.
So. Basketball is my number one.
Yeah.
And you see these guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, what they have to do to be the best.
Yeah.
And are you willing to do what they're doing?
It's time consuming.
Do you want to train like these guys train? Do you want to be competitive like these guys are? Because everyone hated them on their team,
Facts.
because they were just wanting to win. Like
They were winning over their teammates.
Yeah.
There's no owls here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's just that mentality,
Mentality, yeah.
You got to have that mentality, and there's only one goal, and if you're not part of the goal, then fuck off, because and you gotta pull. And if people, if you got a team, right, and you're the only one pushing forward, like doing all the work, because
it's not fair,
because you love it, and everyone else saying,
they end up becoming a weight.
Yeah, they end up kind of weight. That's right. And so what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna go on your own, or are you gonna bring them up? Because if they're not willing to sacrifice like you're sacrificing, then maybe that's not for them.
Everyone wants to try and become Ronnie Coleman. Let's go! Everybody. Everyone's still holding on, bro. Take me with you. Well, you can't, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like sometimes you learn this on the way.
Yeah.
On your journey. Like, for me, I didn't really know when I was a kid, right? And I grew up thinking I'm going to be this, but not really having a passion about anything. I knew what I liked, but I didn't go that way because I thought, I don't know. I was just too busy doing other stuff, and next minute I'm here.
Yeah.
But then I'm realizing, man, I should have done this instead because I love that instead of this sort of thing, right? So for me, I just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm older now, and it's like too late. But it's not too late. I can step back and do it. But then gotta pay the bills and shit like that. But for you guys, like, did you guys learn this on the way, or was it something that you just so passionate about doing? Next minute, I'm just doing this all the time. I'm just gonna go ahead and go forward. Or did you guys? How did you guys feel like? I gotta do this 100%.
Not gonna lie, like it's like a love-hate relationship with us, like with the music. Like it all comes down to like self-belief and like believing in yourself. Like how you hold yourself when you're at your most doubtful moments. Like like you're at your proudest moments, like like where you're like on a roll, because like being creative is like is energy consuming, and it can also like work your mind over time, like because you're just constantly creating, and it's like you're finding new ways of how you're gonna hit a track, and it's like nothing's never new, nothing is everything is new. So every song that you make is always new, like how you go on about it, So it's like with me, like all day is like my love and my passion for music, like it's like 100, and like what I was saying before, like the life situations and stuff, like especially when you're an artist and it's not a career where it's like a normal job where you're getting paid like by the hour or by salary. Like you're getting paid by your work on how you're getting paid by the product. Like you're just it's like you're giving out like stuff to like people you want to listen, and if they don't like it, then you can't get paid because not many people like your music. Or
So for you, like, when did you start sacrificing other stuff to do your music, to concentrate on your music?
For me, like sacrifices, so like spending away time with like from my family and stuff, like because how I used to stay with also in Oz, and like, you know, I moved over there that also was doing music, but, you know, we've always been close. But he was on his role, like, you know, doing his own thing, and like, you know, my energy is always matched with him when it comes to music, because I know how he works, how we work, you know. So it's like all day, I'm coming over to Oz and I'll come even with you. That's us like up until like 4 o'clock, and then after that we're all in the lounge.
See, my mum will open the sliding door like, get a job.
And it got to that point where, because we weren't working, and it got to the point where like the old lady's like, so when are you guys gonna find a job?
Mum, we're gonna be famous soon. Nah, like for me, because the bro always has been like an inspiration more to me. He's been active. Like there's been waves, you know, like you said, peaks and troughs. You know, ebb and flow of the game. Like sometimes people rise, people go quiet, and then come back. You know, like that's the NZ music game. Like it's not really a sustainable path. Like in the beginning, you have to go through these. Like I'm the man. Damn, G, gotta buy a car, gotta slang my laptop. You know what I mean? Damn, G, my mom, you know what I mean? Straight, or like my mic broke or something, and you're a real person. Like you gotta work. Like for me, I always asked my parents when I was young, like, because we've been doing music since we were 14, 15. And they're like, can I get a laptop? Can I get a laptop? Like I never held it against them because I knew what it is. You know, we're from South and lucky enough to get something, you know? So I just kept asking them, and then, bro, when I moved to Oz, I just worked and I had no friends, no nothing. I was still new to Oz. I was just like, went to JB Hi-Fi, just money and time, man, just boredom, and like, get it, work on it. You know, once I got a job, I worked hard to save up for my studio. You know, and then once I cleaned my room, sat back, and I was like, fuck, this is all the shit that I wanted when I was 15. Like, buzz the fuck out. Like, I got a mic, I got the soundproof. Like, fucking hell, bro. Like, I did it. You know what I mean? And that sense of pride, people miss it. You know, everyone wants to be young in lips. Everyone wants to be everyone wants to be the man. You know, billboards and big shows, but you know, you miss these small proud moments where you like work, and then you got a couple fans, and then like all these people want to know you randomly on social media, people adding your personal Facebook. There was an age where everyone was like adding poetic heart out, you know what I mean? I was adding like all the notable figures, managers, this, you know? So like there was all these different evolutions in the game that I was seeing, and I was like, if I can just learn the pattern of what these dudes are doing and convince my parents, and my parents being the loving, tolerant people that they are, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just convincing as, you know, I was sat my parents down like, bah, you've been seeing me going hard, you know, in the garage day and night, and they're like, you're just doing stupid thing in the garage and trying to say you with your friends, like 5 of us. But eventually it was A and a couple, like maybe 4 other friends, and we were just there 24/7. And I was just headphones on. Things would happen. Everyone's like lifting weights, you know, grappling, hitting pads, and you know, this dude's like making a beat, you know. It was like we were young again, but we're all like 19, 20, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Like you said, trying to figure out what it is, what we're gonna do, and we're like, bro, we've done buzzy things. We ended up doing like shows every, like 2 shows a week. You know, the 3 people to like the 20, 30, 40 people, like, oh,
shout
Rocky.
out to G Riz.
In Australia.
In Melbourne.
Yeah.
We're all Kiwis, like, suddenly these dudes don't even know. Like everyone knows each other, but like we're like the Kiwis that everyone's like, oh, fuck, it's the Islanders. It's those Kiwis. Like, you know. But everyone you got to know us in the scene, like Ethiopians, Sudanese, Arabs, like people, bro, it was we had a crazy time. But in saying that, you know, like I sacrificed, you know, being with my son, like you know, being for real, like I was young, I was 19, you know, and I was just like, boom, let me go and try and get a fale. Next minute, got distracted with the usos, like, you know, like having too much fun, and next minute doing shows, that, you know, like just really being real about it, like something I truly, truly regret in my life, something that I wouldn't like take back though. That, bro, that time was like But that time was a movie. Like 2 years with my homies, you know, like, bro, imagine like being 14, not allowed to do anything, but now you're 19 and you're allowed to do it. Everyone's got cars and everyone's got jobs and money, and we're all just, some of the boys are working. Me and A are going hard at music, you know, and we're making waves in New Zealand, in Melbourne, just being around. At one point, you know, if we capitalized, if we just snatched that up, I reckon we'd be further along in the path. But still not to a point where it's like super sustainable, but to a point where we got enough listeners across the Tasman, and then some, like, you know, the islands got phones now. They want to play 1-4 on their stories on IG and on Facebook. You know, everyone's onto it. So like all of that, for me at least, thinking about it, you know, that's how I was starting to think about things. But you know, as life evolved and you know, life presents different challenges to you. That's another thing, is the sacrifice versus like chasing the dream. It's like some things are too tall to overcome, where you got to change the path, you know.
I like how you said like you got a job, then from your pay you bought all the gears for your studio. I mean, that's the first kind of like that's what you're supposed to do. Like, you know, like some people, they go to work, get paid, and I'm gonna party, gonna go drink and spend it all on stupid stuff, not even towards their goal or whatever. Like for you, that studio was in your mind all that time. And
I had no friends though. See, I had no distractions.
Okay. Yeah,
I just moved from NZ. Like, we went to Samoa and moved back to NZ, and random, my parents are like, okay, we're gonna pack the house up and we're moving to Melbourne. Me and my sister was like,
the bro was crying. Like when he saw me, he was like, I'm going to Melbourne.
bring me every day, Solid.
My shirt's still wet from that day.
Nah.
Is your family still there?
Yeah, my parents and my siblings are still there. So I'm back here with my kids and all that, and my baby mama, my wifey and all of that.
So man, you must be inspired when A came over. You know, you told him, come on, and you just go over. Stay in the visit.
Well, the plan was to go over there and set up. Like, same thing as those. So go there and set
Those was gonna stay a couple nights, mum.
So I moved to Melbourne, and I told the bro I have fun because I was staying in Brisbane first, but I had no friends there. But you know, nothing was working out for me there. So then I was like, I want to go back to NZ. Then I called this guy, and he was like, come to Melbourne. I was like, yeah, sweet. Came to Melbourne, man. You know, same thing, working. But I I bought myself a computer as well, and like I bought my microphone and stuff from NZ that I had, you know. So it started doing music in Southeast, and also staying up north, and then got to a point where it was like, because it's 1 hour away from each other, you know, and I have to go drive 1 hour to visit the host, and the guy at the host was doing the same thing, doing music. Then one of the other boys, Ray, was staying there, and then he was doing music too, and then he was like, gee, come visit. And then Ray was the one who was telling me, he was like, gee, I reckon you should stay here with us.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was like listening to it like, bro, my mom and dad are like, gee, and these days like, gee, you should just stay.
Then it got to the point where I just like, you know how like you just go over to people's houses and you just make yourself comfortable. Grabbed my own blanket and I was like, so I'm sleeping over.
Yo.
5 months later.
5 months later, like 3 more friends later.
3 more friends.
But trust me, we're rocking.
Yo.
Like, not everyone was pushing towards like music. Me and A mostly were, but everyone was making music. But like us chasing it as trying to make it a viable option, you know. So like before or after that, I ended up like getting selected for this West Melbourne like a development sort of music development program where they like help you write music, they like put you through this whole process. But only like 6 artists out of the whole of Melbourne got selected. And then, you know, I was just always on Facebook searching through all these groups, these forums, like, boom, sign up for that, boom, send it to this dude. Like, I didn't even care who I was sending it to. DJ, you know, from Texas, you know, sending it to anyone, you know. And then they got back, and I was like, I thought it was just like some small talent show type of thing, you know what I mean? Boom, next minute was like legit, you know, like there were like 2 people who started just helping people, and then next minute like got the what is it called, the council, you know, funding and all of that, and built like programs around like Melbourne, Perth, Sydney, you know, and just going and developing artists and helping them write the song and releasing it and showing it how to do it properly, you know. And this is what really like sparked my brain, you know. It was this dude what was his name? Sorry, I forgot his name. Ariane, I think it was, you know. Super cool, like, you know, those like rockers, you know, just a real like Jerry Seinfeld. No, I don't want to be sad to you know, just always playing guitar. Got heaps of manic dude, like yeah. Like, what do you reckon about that? You know, just always like playing music. Like he was a real cool character. Took me in. It was like, bro, when I heard your song, bro, I was just like, get him. That's that song. Like bro, they were like buzzing me out when I first met them. They were like, did you send in that Bebecita song? And there, I was like, oh yeah, like not expecting much, you know, like, oh yeah. And they're like, bro, as soon as it played and then you started singing, like they were all like singing it to me. I was like, oh bro, this is buzzy. Like this Aboriginal lady, this white lady, and this man, buzzy ass musical characters. And they took us through the game, you know. They first took us through like contractual language, things that, you know, like the whole what you should see in a contract, how to build a contract. Should you have a manager? Should you be independent? How can you be independent? When is it the right time to get a manager? How can you build a team? What are the ways that you can get funding? How can you get money through different avenues? You know, syncs on movies, ads. You know, sending your music to radio stations, just even the beat, or you know, just the words, or you know, all these little avenues, teaching us all this buzzy stuff, and then like giving us like a mock manager, and they're like sort of develop you, like, oh, guess I listened to some of your work. Have you released this or have you not released? We're gonna work on writing a song together. And they like teach you how to move. It's like buzzy. They like handle you, you know, like, so go home tonight and I want you to like work with these. It's like buzzy. I'm like, you know, I'm from South Auckland, still like pretty gutter at that time, like 19, like. Hey, what are you up to? Hey, gee, these dudes are buzzy.
Pro club.
Gee, standing, the only one having a ciggy by himself, everyone's standing over there like, bro, this is buzzy. Like, you know, I'm buzzy
Man,
now.
that would have been an experience.
Bro, trust. But they took me through the works, and I just seen this whole expanse of knowledge that NZ, I don't know who had it. I don't know who has it. Still to this day, like, who's gatekeeping it? Because all these dudes are like, gee, I got PDFs printed out for you, bro, and I took them home and studied them and shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Damn.
like, oh, bro, I'm telling you, that whole shit, going through that really inspired me to keep going. Because I went to this whole massive, like, this dude worked with, like, Jay-Z, like, he was a pop producer and mix engineer in the UK, but he's an Aussie dude. And he's worked with heaps of Kanye, you know, just mixed, quiet dude, you know? But we went, bro, he's like, you know, this whole soundboard, I used to work with one in London. It's like 1.4 million just for this top part. That's not even including this room. That's not even, like, he put everything in perspective for me all the time. Because even me and him got close, you know? All of, like, the leaders of the thing, we all got close, and he'll break it all down, like, bro, and it was like a room with the control and all of that in there, then this big space, then another room in there, like, a smaller room, then this massive room with pianos and 3 other rooms, like pretty far back, you know, probably 10, 20 meters back. And I had to stand in that room, and you can like, it was like some like for real movie shit, got all the things long as, probably like 3-4 meters long, that board, you know, like, so I experienced it's like, bro, why not? You know, these dudes were telling me, why not, bro? Like, who's stopping you? Like, they're making me believe so hard, bro, like, anyone can do it, and these are the ways you can do it. Who cares if you like blow up? Like, just make these small steps. Sign up with these small things. Get these, all those little trickles will end up helping you, you know. And one day you just never know, you know. So,
Damn, that's opportunity. Eh? Like, you know how you said, like, back in New Zealand, like, who's the gatekeeper? Yeah, who was the gatekeeper?
I don't
No, I didn't even know, man.
Is it like not many opportunities here? Like, there's no competitions. There's nothing that people want to hear what's out there in the community.
I feel like if you want to just like, you know, to get signed, I feel like it's not so much opportunities. Like, there are opportunities, you know, but it's like far. Everything's all online now. You create your own opportunities nowadays, you know. Like, it just goes as far as like a little TikTok or a little reel, like, you know, and you just blow up from that, and then people will be so invested to finding out, like, who's this guy? Like, who's that guy? You know, and it's like.
Well, see, to me, that's still the same. Everyone's trying to recreate the same. I just need to blow up on one. You know, like, I love to see it, and I love to see the availability and the opportunity, the chance of it happening, you know, on TikTok or Instagram or something popping for you, but we're all still chasing the same. Like, still no one wants to commit to the game. You know, no one wants to commit to the rules of the game. You know, like, no one's in the gym like Kobe. No one's hopping off the flight and straight in the gym. You know what I mean? None of them. Like, I'm telling you, at one point, I was that dude. 10,000 hours. Like, I still work my way around, but, you know, if we need to work a different way, if we want to, people probably listen to me right now and say, fuck, what are you on about, cunt? Like, but I'm telling you, bro, there's game out there that, like, Balangis and Asians at these, like, big conferences, you got to pay 500 to go down to the, you know, to Spark Arena, like, to these conferences that none of our community will pay any attention to, you know, but honest, if people that are willing to listen in our community, that are willing to put in the work for that game, came to these places, heard these people, met these people, knew about these avenues, bruh, we're coming back like, gee, let me tell you something that they haven't been telling us. Like, you know, I've been trying to, but that's why I'm so long-winded about talking about music, because I just feel like there's so much untapped, like, potential and knowledge and avenues that, you know, like, even I, in my imperfect state of being a musician, being an artist is crazy. Like, living an artist's life is crazy. Like, expressing yourself and writing music is crazy. At a certain point, you gotta start thinking, like, people will gain true fans through writing songs that say something, you know what I mean? And then how much of that can you give of yourself? You know, like, how much of that in music can you give for yourself before? Because people will get bored of, like, shawty about that, you know, shake that ass, oh shit, you know, guns, we are in the streets, you know, like, how long will people ride with that? You know, you'll see your fan base and your momentum fall off gradually, and you may retain something, but it's not viable. Like, we're talking about how can this be sustainable? Like, ultimately, to me, you know, how can us as, like, Polynesians, Southwest, East, in Samoa, you know what I mean, and anywhere in the world, how can we make it? Like, only really the Americans can show us how to do it, you know, because that's still the money. Like, we are independent and we can make money, but unless someone comes up behind you with some real money, like, you still got to get signed for an opportunity, or you got to blow up. So it's still, like, the A and B option regardless. And I don't know. I don't have the answer for what's the perfect way, but I'm just saying there's heaps of tools that I know imperfectly, that I know other people could probably, like, if they learned that, they could do something with it, you know? I've seen heaps of people tap in with knowledge and just share things, like, nonchalantly, like, oh yeah, gee, this is how you do it. And I'll just be like, how do you do it? Like, you know, and to them it's like, don't you know? That's what I always got in the game. Like, did no one tell you? Like, sort of energy all the time. And I'm like, no, like, what are you on about? Like, unless you, like, play guitar, sing in church, like, you play drums, you know, like, you're in the music community, you sort of know things about, because you're tapped in with music people, like, you know. But if you're like me, if you're like the rappers, I'm talking to rappers who just, some random white dude, you know, in Auckland, it's just, fuck, I want to rap. You know what I mean, G? Like, any kind of, doesn't know nothing about music, rhythm, nothing. He just heard some rap songs and he was like, bruh, what if I just had some fun and jumped on it? Like, I'm talking about these dudes, because I was one of those dudes. I never came from no musical background, theoretically or practically, nothing. Don't know no instruments or nothing. You know? So, coming into the game, it's, like, weird when they, like, act like, oh, you're a rapper? Gee, when I went to mains, they're like, what do you play? I'm like, the game, baby. Like, what you talking about? Like, so, bro, everyone's in the common room, like, dum, 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 you know? So we have a different path. It's a unique path. You know, nonetheless, as hard, it's the music game, eh? You know? What can you do? Like, we can't get massive shows. We had to go Illusion, Orange Bar, Stampede, and then, like, hope to make enough momentum to get noticed by someone that might come and open, and then that's how you see Spark Arena. when it's still people walking inside with their food, like before the Eminem concert or something, you know, and you're like, on your IG it looks dope, you know, because they just got the perspective where you're running across the stage, and I love it. Like I'm not downing it, you know. I'm not downing it. It's like people. All I'm saying is that what you're gonna settle for? Is this what we keep settling for? You know what I mean? Like you're a sports guy, right? You know, and all of these athletes, they had no opportunities. You know, I love combat sports. You know, and like. Still to this day, the game ain't perfect. You know what I mean? Basketball is still a growing sport in NZ. Now, probably more than ever, has basketball. Young kids wanted to play basketball. You know what I mean? But for rappers, it's still like, mean, but like still sort of a joke if you're 25. You know what I mean? What are you doing, bro?
And that's interesting because, you know, when you think about the history of hip hop in New Zealand, you know, with old school, like Damn Native and about Posse, you know, the pioneers, and then you got Te Hamo, and then King Kapisi, and then you got Scribe. You know, we got these are no jokes, you know.
Yeah.
But they still treat the music community still treat rap as like it's not part of them, sort of thing.
Yeah,
they look down on it. It's like because unless you're a scribe, you're gonna be looked down on, sort of thing.
I just feel like everybody's just like now it's like everything's all influenced by the police in Australia now.
Yeah,
I remember one like there was a time where New Zealand was the forefront, and it always has been the forefront of like hip hop in Australasia.
Yeah,
and with the Australian hip hop like bringing a different vibe now, it's always have been influenced by American, but nobody's ever like was really tapped into the UK scene until the Australians were like doing it like influenced by that, because we all talk the same basically, we didn't have like American accents, but we still got like and it's easy to understand and like how their lifestyles were like. And now I see it a lot in like the new gen now, or like the new up and coming artists that I can hear a lot of influence from like the Australian back to the UK as like a trickle like drip feed, even from like the style, like the clothing that everybody wears. Like I remember we were wearing like how we were saying like Perclot, Perclot, Dickies, Chucks, everything all influenced from West Coast,
all day.
That's how it was in New Zealand. Like that's how we dressed, like Levi jeans. The culture there was like now the culture is like influenced by like
Nike
Australia.
Tech,
Nike Tech, suits, ski mask. But it's good, like it's good to see that like there's a lot of artists now. Like when I was coming up, like there wasn't so much artists that was like doing like auto-tune music or but everybody like shunned up. New Zealand was still in that boom bap age, like like when I like dropped like my first auto-tune song, like everybody called me like like fuck, this guy's Elo. Like why is he using auto-tune? Auto-tune is Elo. And like for me, like I don't care, like what people think. Like Scribe already told me that like I need to be better. Oh no, Savage, sorry. Savage told me if I want to be an artist, it's not for you. If you're gonna read off your pen, that's all I needed to hear. So it's like now I notice that now everybody's more comfortable of like growing into that sound now. But before it's like there's gonna be types of people in the industry who get like get shot first, like from like the whole crowd, until it becomes like, oh fuck, everybody likes it now. It's like auto-tune music is like growing now.
Bro, when we were young, I'm telling you, when we were at Strive, so like probably 8 out of 10 dudes, 8 out of 10 dudes who are using the studio that like before us or something, or even a door, they're either doing that or just trying to be the hardest rapper, I'm the lyrical spiritual, everyone was still trying to be like the deepest dude. And this dude, we used to get outside for ciggies and he was like, Solid, I'm telling you, G, the music's in the clubs. And I'm like, fuck, yo, gay cunt. Why we in the streets, G. We need to make music for the streets, G. He
asked me like,
G, this
what's
dude
your
was
dream in
telling
music?
the future, G.
What's your dream in music? And I was like, G, my dream is to make mainstream music, G. Like shit that attracts people, like, cause I love that shit. But fuck.
And everyone used to be like, all the boys outside are like, mainstream, like, what do you mean, G?
I'm
like,
telling you. This is the new wave.
And sure enough, things like you said, even the auto tune thing, you know, or just sing rapping, you know, everyone was like on this prideful, like, I don't want to sing, so like I'll just keep it close to rap so I can still say, so like, I rap, like I'm a rapper, like all these little prideful things that don't apply in any other genres. You know, it's so funny. Like when you're an artist and you really know the ins and outs of how people think and operate, and when you do something, they're like, aye. Like, you know, you write a bar and it's suddenly about them, you know, or like, bruh, it's a crazy game how people move, you know, people all tip their hats to each other. We all go to shows and all of that, you know. Everyone's like, shake hands, and then you get to work your way around the little circles, and then, no, about them, you know, and they're like, no, about them.
Straight up.
So you don't know what's what coming in, you know, and then you find out this game is slimy, baby. It's
Ultra
grimy. If you get down to the roots of where it is, you know what I mean. Not all of it. I wouldn't say like a lot of it. The game of the business of it, and the people who are playing the business of it, you know. I don't even want. I want to stay alive. But you know
that's
what
one
I mean?
thing. That's one thing that I learned, like with my come up. You know, like that's one thing that I learned with my come up, because like, you know, started off, you know, when I released that audio-tune music, like DJ Severe, like hit me up randomly on my messenger. I didn't even know that he had me on Messenger, or like he just hit me up randomly, and he was like, bro, do you know that your music is playing like all over, like in like Europe and like Philippines and that? And I was like, no, who told you that? He's like, he picked it up off like a server that he has, like, you know, on the radio stations and stuff. And he's like, that's like a big look for you, and like, would you be keen to have your music played on, like, you know, the radio? So like, you know, when I started off in my garage, like, you know, off like those old school speakers, you know, Berkeley laptop, the Logitechs, you know. Oh no, it wasn't even the Logitechs, G. It was those EWAs, those, you know,
The warehouse, the
EWAs or something, G. Yo,
light ass.
the ones that, like, you know, when you press the CD and it comes up with 5 CDs.
Yeah.
Yo, I like connect it into my interface. And like, bro, like my mom used to get pissed off at me, like, you know, and my sister will laugh because I'm like trying to like sing into the mic, but I'm like, bottle ass. But once it was all mixed and done, like, bro, I learned everything on YouTube. Like,
This dude is a wizard. Been a wizard.
Like, just stayed up and just like finding, like, you know, because I've always been inspired from, like, you know, Lil Wayne, especially in like that type of music. Yeah, so like Lil Wayne, T-Pain, like, bro, like.
Oh, T-Pain was the first guy I heard with the autotune.
Yeah,
That's the first time I ever heard autotune. Was
autotune. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, it was buzzy. Say, like, you know, when I got that message, like, you know, it started off just me, you know. And then when I got that, like, you know, there was a lot of people that, like, you know, hit me up, like, you know, oh, I could do this for you, I could do that for you. But mind you, I'm only, like, you know, like 17 at the time. And I didn't know fuck all about music. And I'm like, oh, bro, straight up, you can shoot me a video clip? Oh, yeah, go there, you know, like, you know, friendly, shake hand. But, like, not knowing that there's, like, a, like, something, you know,
untold
behind,
price.
yeah.
Agenda.
Agenda behind it, you know. And it's like, after everything, like doing shows and that, you know, and then like this one time, like I was doing my apprenticeship as a sparky. I just finished like a 16-hour shift, and I had to drive all the way down to Hamilton, and that's my first experience of like slimy game. You know, I came down there to do my own show in front of like at a Hamilton crowd, and it's like, bro, like everything's all like, you know, like money. Like I came in intentions with like love, you know, because I love and passion. But it's like when money is involved, it's like you gotta watch who you network with. Because it's so slimy when it comes to business, you know. It's like, where.
So did you have to fork out some money to pay
so
for the
like
concert?
so the money that was made, like initially the plan was like everything that was sold at the door, like, you know, we'll do 50-50 split, you know. But I just came from like a hectic ass job, drove all the way down to Hamilton, and like. I hit him up because I had no gas. I was like, bro, do you reckon I can get some money from gas? He's like, oh, sorry, I just booked a hotel for us to stay in. I was like, where's my room? He's like, oh, no, I got my friends in there. I was like, oh, bro.
What?
Yeah, bro. And so that's my first experience of like a slimy game, and it gave me a lesson to, you know, like to be more aware of like, you know, who I meet in the game, you know. All day I've met some genuine people, you know, like also like, and the people that I rap with and like the house that I stayed with, you know, with the same intentions and also the same like goal. But there's always someone out there that you need to watch for, and that's for all the up and coming artists. You know, don't think about the money. Like, you know, just go through all these experiences. Like, you know, coming up on your own, and you'll meet the genuine people in the music game.
Shucks, man. Exciting.
Yeah, bro. But it is what it is. You know, you can only take lessons from it, and like I said, it's a make or break thing. You know. But for me, I just, like, I've always been an opportunist, bro. Like, any opportunity I can get my hands on that is, like, involved with music, I'll do it. Like, I'll, like, hit them up, like, annoy them. Like, I'll be like, bro, do you reckon I can jump on this? Or do you reckon, like, you know, like, can I share my music, like, on your guys' platform, you know? Like, even overseas, like, since we got, like, internet. Like, I'm pushing out, like, sending my music out to people out in Houston, and they don't even know where New Zealand is or, like, what New Zealand hip-hop sounds like. But, like, now they know the music that I share to them is like, bro, this guy goes hard. Like, New Zealand hip hop is hard. Why haven't we heard it before, you know? And it's like, bro, like.
And now they know you, eh? Like, when they send, 449 sent one, like, they want to play this dude's. Those reaction pages, and the birds had some fucking mean reaction studio full of, you know, and they're all from like Texas, you know, they're all Mexicans and stuff. They react to music, and bro, this dude's had some mean reactions, you know.
Straight up, it's like, you know, if I just like, just hearing that overseas, like, you know, like, we're fishing in a small pond here in, like, New Zealand, you know. It's like you throw your bait, cast it out into the open sea and see if you can get, like, a blue whale or not, you know.
Sorry, cause they're all done, my bro.
Sorry, Maui, I got this.
Yeah, bro.
You mentioned DJ Zafir.
Yeah.
That guy's been a champion for New
Yeah,
Zealand
bro.
hip hop for years, eh?
Yeah,
Like, helping everyone out.
Straight up,
If you're
he's
into
the
hip hop,
man.
he'll help you, eh?
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Like, he was the main DJ, like, you know, for, like, coming up, and then he had his, like, you know, little prodigies, like, you know, DJ CXL and that. Like, but DJ Severe has always been, like, you know, like, the forefront for, like, DJ hip-hop, you know, clubs and that, like, DJing at clubs. Now we got, like, a lot of, like, you know, new DJs, and there's some good DJs, like, new DJs coming up, and it's good to see. Especially K-Swizz, like, he's, like, a champion, a world champion for
Is
DJing.
that 15, 16-year-old kid?
Yeah.
See, that dude's the man. Like, that DJing is like a forgotten part of, like,
Hip hop.
they're like the islanders, like, forgot, like, solid.
The only DJs they
That's
know
too
is DJ
expensive,
Noise. The only DJ they know is
DJ Noise, solid. DJ Lance, DJ Bullet. Those are the DJs we knew, G. Shit.
Yo.
Well, it was part of the 4 avenues of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Graffiti,
The breakdancing.
breakdancing.
I see it's like the culture's like slowly, like, you know, like breaking up now, like, you know, the 4 elements, as you were saying. You know? It's like everybody's like doing their own thing. I didn't see like a lot of like functions or that, like, you know, they have like all these 4 elements in one, like, you know, function, like where there's people just doing graph or like the last time I saw that was probably NZ Hip Hop Summit.
Oh.
Yeah.
NZ Hip Hop Summit. Yeah, so that's the last time I seen that, and I was probably like 16. Yeah, 16. That's
See,
the
this
last time I
dude,
saw it.
when he says that he's like, he jumps on opportunities, this dude always like, gee, do you want to come? Like, even today, like, gee, like 11 years later, like, we randomly like, gee, do you want to come to this thing? And they were like, yo, randomly, like, just go, let's go. This dude took me to that hip hop summit. Like, and we performed, like, he took us to the hip hop summit. It was me, like, all young Sid and everyone was there. Like, I just watched and I was like, this dude's the man, you know, like he's up there on the same stage as them. Fucking, I think like later on, my mates like fear night for his course.
Yo. Shout out to the
I asked this
Caribbean.
dude to come and perform with me here, like.
Gee, performing in front of Islanders, no island music. Like all these
They're all
sandwiches
singing like
rapping.
church songs, like, you know, there's nice voices doing cultural dances. Me and everyone are sitting there watching all these like mean sivas and gee, bro, some school teachers there. My school teachers were there. Some of them with their kids. My mates were there. I was like, bro, all these dudes, like, you know, they're doing the ones where they're putting the ulaloles on them and putting the money on them.
Fuck, lucky nobody knew me. Hey, I'm just enjoying my buzz.
People knew me. We performed, bro. My mic was off the whole time. This dude's like yelling, like, yo, bro. No one can hear what I'm saying, bro. And they're putting the money in their little ice cream container, and like, the bird didn't tell us, like, gee, you can, you know, all that money they put in there, you can take it, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking, it was like so sad that like the assistant principal, the Spalangi lady from my school, she stood up and put a $20. Shut mess. At least someone did something, you know what I mean? All the Islander ladies are like, all the old mums and that, they came to take photos of their sons and all of that, looking at us like, this is a balea, man. Man, like, bro. Shit.
I feel like one thing that like really like made me stand out like with the music like really made me like gave me a name like and the music was like was like freestyling at parties when I was young.
Facts.
Like going out to East Side, even West Side too. Like we'll train all the way to East Side. Like we're like out late at night, 14 years old, just and our rapping starting to rapping. We're having like battles of like East Side rappers and that at parties. And it's like, like getting host and then being creative. And it's like, gee, these guys love my freestyles. And then after that, fighting.
Freestyles and fusu.
And then wait for the 6 o'clock train home.
Those were the days, G.
But yo, like, see, like, that's how everything was started for me was like, like just freestyling at parties, getting drunk. Little shit vibes,
When you moved over to Melbourne to be with the bro, like, had 1-4 come out? Then
they were just coming out.
We're on them, like,
yeah.
If anything, because I've been tapped in with the UK, like, I'm real big into the Afro swing scene, and like they were doing Afro swing initially, and so I was just like aware of these other islanders, like, oh, someone else is trying it. You know what I mean? Let me hear what they do. That's how they went. But then they ended up doing drill. And like this is us on Smoker, like at the warehouse, like, gee, have you seen those dudes from Sydney and something? What do you know about hopping the fences? What do you know? Like, everyone's like mocking it,
Yeah.
Even I had my little turn, but that one song was like, I seen some of the boys like, oh yeah, gee, that's pretty thick, dogs. Like, some of the Tongan boys like, but that's pretty bad, Then it's like shifting from like, what do you know about? Next minute, everyone's doing the Maori boss.
Yeah.
So, they shifted the culture.
Yeah.
And it was such an opportune time for us. It was like a fruitful time for us,
That was
Everyone
a
knew
transition,
Islanders
yeah.
for like, hey, like 1-4, like all the shows we were doing, like, hey, you are like 1-4. Like, bro, it was buzzy being recognized, Because it was all Africans, like the classic hip hop scene, like, not us, you know what I mean? Not us, if anything.
Especially with the new music, all the old school music, like, it was like, they only know Polynesians for like Savage, Young Sid, but not until 1-4 came out, and then these new artists, like, maybe they have always been doing music, like, same time as us as well, but really getting acknowledged that, like, like different places, like different shows from like different ethnicities, like, we're not like the same ethnicity as them rapping as like Polynesians, we're not singing with a guitar. That's the Polynesian. That's the Polynesian thing, is like singing the guitar or do some boom bap rap. Nah, gee, we're doing Afro swing and drill.
For your nana and your mum on your graduation, G.
You're right about when you said before Australia wasn't in any hip hop thing. It was always New Zealand. They always got that music from us.
He's a Polynesian rapper from like Australia.
Nah, they had a scene.
Yeah, they had a scene.
But my older cousins from Mount Druitt, they're like, Solid, we used to copy yous. We're all like Bloods and Crips for no reason. Like, we were just like, yous are Bloods, we're Crips. Let's copy them, like, because they copied the culture as well. And we were copying someone else's culture as well. But I know like the Aussie scene, like the white Australian dudes and all like the Aussies, even some islanders, they had their own like culture and scene. So it's like hip hop.
It's a battle rap scene, eh?
Yeah, bro, mean one too. It's Australia, bro. It's close to like, to me, it's close to America, and like some of my like friends that make music, and they make music in different spaces, or like same sort of music, but they reckon they got like different audiences, like radio audiences with different sort of listeners, They like tell me, it sort of pisses me off, bro, but like I don't get it. It hurts me because they're like, I'll share an achievement, like, oh bro, to see someone come from, from this, like, should this not inspire you? That but this dude's like, yeah, but also I know you're gonna know who you are, but like it's like, also yeah, but NZ's too small, like you're never gonna blah blah blah, like it's just too small a market, blah blah blah. You can't say yourself, it's a dead end market, like he just always, and I'm like, I know it, but I honestly still think that we've got like this niche sound and creativity that you can't find anywhere else, especially in Auckland City. But let's say in NZ altogether, like I hate to take it back to Lord, but let's say Church Leon, and AP, Swoodit, you have all these anomalies pop up just like another generation. And, everyone hopes to be the next anomaly. And like me and the bro, we're still on our journey. We're still trying to thug it out. I'm still trying to be a dad and work out my music, but I'm still faithful as like, people all the time like ask me like, something like that. What are you doing? Like everyone will always ask me, "Oh, how's the music? How's the music? How's the music?" And it used to bother me before, like, "Fuck, I'm in my busy."
Yeah, I hate that question. I hate that question too. I got asked it yesterday, and I'm like, bro, this is like the last time I want to hear it.
It becomes like almost a task because of that kind of feeling, but still, I'm having another resurgence of energy. Like, I'm feeling good about music. I'm feeling good about myself. It just takes a different approach now as a man.
Yeah.
As like a father, it takes like a whole different approach to time management, energy, and the time you set aside for this and the time and how much of it,
It's not how it used to be when we were younger, young and free, and like. But now we're at a time where it's like, now we're going to become the old heads soon.
It's not for play. No time to muck around,
Yeah.
Or no time left, at least. Well, that's my mindset about it. Like,
You said like you got a resurgence for music again. Is that because of what's trending out there? Like what's coming up and coming down, and
yeah,
certain genres are not starting to hear them anymore?
Okay, that factors into it. Like even there being like an uppick in a sound or energy in the community, someone's like sort of popping, or whether it's quiet, that can be like, I can creep in. Like everyone's looking at something differently. At least this is my thing. But as I'm talking about like being an artist, a creative, and having to like pull a great song out of the sky, like I write every day. I've honestly probably written every day for the last 7, maybe let's say 6 years, like consistently. Now I just don't know why I do it. Like it's just habit. I'll come home and I'll figure out my day. I'll do this, but I always end up back on my laptop, listen to beats. Sometimes I listen to beats all night and get nothing, it's like fishing. Now for me it's like fishing. So that's what I mean. And a resurgence of energy is like some people, you'll see their climb and they'll love it, but now that I've had a couple climbs, I'm like, what happens is like everyone enjoys the high fives walking down and they forget about the fight. You know what I mean? And they're like walking around and cheering before the fight, they forget that you lose focus on what matters, and then that's what veers you off the path. So like every time I've tried, I'm like, okay, sometimes shit happens, sometimes you get distracted, but then you can sort of calculate an approach after so many tries of like, okay, that worked for him, this worked for me. Let me just aim a little bit this way, and maybe with this song I'm gonna like really cover art $300. Pay for the distributor. You know what I mean? Gee, targeted ads. Let's go. Some songs you just throw them out into the pond, and you hope something bites. Most songs, but like that creative energy, everyone will tell you, they're like, I'm mean. Boom, boom, boom. Hit a wall. Blank, blank, blank. What did I do? What am I not doing? Becomes this whole like, do I still got it? Looking in the mirror,
So because you're in, like, say, your creative process, because you're writing every day, that gives you opportunity to find something.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then next day is another day.
It's basically like going gym, like
Yeah.
just training the mind and like making sure that you're keeping your mind like going, like like I'm not like that also. Like I don't usually like write every day, but like
what's your creative process?
Like my creative process is like I just like write about like the experiences that I've been through. Most of my songs have always been like that. It's like I have to go through an experience in order for me to actually like talk about it on like the page. Like I can't like sit down and write like like every day, like, but it's like for me, it's like each song is like it's so like there's so much thought that goes into it, and so much experiences that I've been through that goes, and it's like it's hard, like it's hard to like like for me to write every day, but I know when I'm in that mood, like when you sit me in front of that beat and like when I find something, I'll actually like write out something, and I have to be by myself too.
Right.
Like I love being by myself, like in my own space and just like writing. Like I can't like, I don't know if it's intimidation or if it's like just like like anxious of like worrying about like other people like around me when I'm sitting in a group like writing music together with other people. I don't know if it's that, but it's like I don't feel like I'm in my own space when I'm like writing with other people, and like I don't want to like have some sort of like validation from them, like showing that I need validation from them, like when I show them like what I wrote, because then I just start like overthinking and it's like, oh fuck, is this all good to say? I'm just like
scribble the whole thing.
and I'm like the excuse is like, oh nah, fuck, also I haven't wrote anything like much yet.
You heard his verse and you're like, delete.
But nah, but it's like, because when I'm with like by myself, it's like I'm my own like I validate myself, like does it mean to me? It's all good.
With all your experiences you've got like in your head, like when you think about stuff, do you get reminded, like say you wake up in the morning and do your thing, and then something happens during the day that reminds you of some experience you had in the past, that might kick off a lyric to some songs or something like that? Is that what happens? Or
yeah, well, like like sometimes like things that I've actually like wrote from like like in the past, or even that I'm thinking about writing like now, like it seems to all happen like but I now like for my music, like I wanna like like it's like the type of music where say like you're in your car by yourself at like 2 a.m. like smoking a joint, driving by yourself in like a rainy night or so in the dark, nice night, and just thinking about shit as a man, like it's like men have those time when it's like when you're on your own and it's just only you, like no one else around you, and you just got like your good music. Like all of us have that like type of vibe, like our own music that we listen to on ourselves, and that's the music that I would like creating, and that's like all from experiences, like from like when I'm by myself in my car, like driving, just thinking like like who am I as a man, or like like shit like that, And then it comes down to like, what am I doing to provide for myself and my family, or like how can I do this, or or also like sharing experiences on how like it worked here for me, like just giving them like some game, like it worked here for me, and like just talking to them like one-on-one type of music, So it's like that type of music like really like gets me like creative. Because just everything just flows naturally, Making music about a club, I can do that freestyle in like 30 minutes.
Facts. See, and that's what I was trying to like circle back to some of the points I made before. Is like, see, I fish because I have like a repetitive life. I have like the standard dad life, I go to work, come home, do my thing, you know what I mean, and then it repeats. I gotta go to work. I gotta go sleep at work, Don't have too much time to stay awake and do what I need to do. But I'll have like an hour or two, 3. Might push it if I got something tonight, you know what I mean? So like, because I don't have something to write about and I don't want to lie, I gotta search a little bit more about what I want to write, what I can write about. Because a lot of things just end up talking about my life, but then again, circling back to that point of how much do you want to give of yourself? Because you can only give so much. Like A said, like sometimes I don't have something that any energy, experience, idea that I can write on. Sometimes you get angry and you can write on that. It just brings up everything in you. Sometimes you like just happy as, or you feel proud as of something, and you're just like in the zone, and that'll influence the way you write something. But when you have nothing like exciting like me, sometimes it's hard. You got to fish all the time, so you got to be more artistic, you got to be more creative. My music, for me personally, I'm trying to aim it towards having more meaning, like more for a listener who wants to listen to what I'm saying, you know what I mean, like literally listen. I'm not trying to be deep about it, but even if I'm singing it, I'm still saying some shit with my pen, you know what I mean? Listen to what I'm saying. So that's my approach with the fishing, Sometimes I'll crack the hook, and then the verses are hard. So sometimes that one just sits in the vault, But with the also, he'll have experiences that he'll pin out, you know, melodically. Even the melody will set the tone of that experience, and then what you say about it, you know what I mean? But then, you know, YGB had this documentary where they sort of explain the torment of being an artist. Like, sometimes when you get into my life, as you become an older artist, like, some people go and intentionally try and experience traumatic things, especially traumatic things.
Like force themselves.
Like, I've got her name, Ruby Rose, I think her name is it? Oh no, Ruby Rose. Sorry.
Damn.
Nah, what's her name? Something Ruby. She sings like D'Angelo style. Near.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she's from
West
Central
Bay?
Auckland.
Yeah, you know, she's her husband. Yeah, but she was talking about, I think it's Ruby something. But she's talking about sometimes as artists, like rock stars, they would take heaps of drugs and shit and have like crazy out of it experience, because most things they wouldn't experience anything real from just day to day stuff. So they'd have to like go and fucking do cocaine and ride motorbikes through fucking flaming hoops. You know what I mean? People would just have to get to more and more artists. I mean, like after a while, you have to fuel your pen, your creativity with like. At least this is my perspective on watching other people write. Like, I always see like I've seen some people who always like take drugs and have been through a lot of things, and when they write, I'm like, fuck, you know, like anything they write, like the way they write it, the tone of it, you know. Some people on the streets that you just know, you know, this dude must be a gutter dude, you know what I mean? Or like sometimes people go and make these. They have traumatic lives and they write about it. Then some people hear traumatic situations and want to recreate careers or get inspiration and go through traumatic things on purpose, you know? Go and put themselves in the streets. You know what I mean? Go and put themselves in a trap house. You know, G, I'm telling you, people actually do this shit.
Just to make a song, eh?
Just to like get this persona to make these songs. Or some people really do, like, this life will trick you, bro. This music shit will trick you into like, that's how you do it, you know?
I get when the drugs come in, because, you know, it's a normal thing for musicians, artists, and drugs go hand in hand now. Yeah. Especially with these days, it's the mushrooms and the psychedelics, because they say like unlock something in your brain when you're high on that shit, and then oh shit, I got some creativity, like like, and then you just start writing hard out after that. No? So
yeah, most of these artists are like, you know, they're on drugs, like even like, you know. Some artists, like, you know, here in NZ, like, you know, they've been on drugs and like done music, you know.
Bro, people get in trouble for saying this. For a lot of people who've said this have got in trouble. But sorry, keep going. You know what I mean? That's so good.
But you know, it is the truth. Like,
it's the truth.
It's the truth. Yeah.
But it's the truth because you just hear it everywhere. You know, in America, you know, even the old guys,
you like, look at it in America.
The Rolling Stones, still,
James Brown,
to state some publicly, you know, some public information, things that have already been said by these people. You know, like Peter T came out and created a wave by giving his life to Jesus, like saying, bro, we're going to America doing, you know, 8 shows in 7 nights, you know, somehow, back-to-back cities, flights.
Oh yeah,
you know, and it like caused this whole, because people were recording in his testimony, you know, and he's saying like everyone's doing it. Your favorite artist, the person you might not think, you know, somehow these tours got to get done. Somehow these videos and all these things got to get edited, and then you got to pack up and go to the next show, and you know, all of that stuff. Like, I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but like, it's a wicked game up there. It's slimy in many ways, you know. Get ready for what what you never expected came with this game. If you really want to achieve something, like, to a certain degree, you'll run into shady characters and shady corners of the game that you never thought existed. But lucky we from a shady corner too, so
welcome to my dungeon.
well, it's dark, it's a dark world, You can get into that sort of thing.
It's a beautiful world and also a dark world, you know. It's like, it's a yin and yang, like, that's with anything in life, you know. There's always good and bad, you know. It's like, everything's not perfect and everything's not all bad. But it's like, you know, it just really tests your character, like, you know, on who you are with like this type of like career or dream that you have, you know. If it's for you, then it's for you. Then if it's not, it's not. You know, some people are gonna make it, some won't. You know, that's how it is. That's
the game.
That's how it's meant to be.
Some people got, you know, like, I used to want to cry about it. Like, that's my identity. Like I started like making it. You know how everyone asks us, like anyone from high school, because we've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
We've met so many people on Facebook. You know, like posted our music. Everyone knows us as A1 and Krook Letter. You know what I mean? So my family, my mom, my aunties, like old uncle. My mum's uncle, you know what I mean? Is asking how's your music, you know? It's funny, like you start like conflating it with your identity, and then when it starts fading away and you gotta like pay the bills, people start, that's where like people like go off the rails, you know? To me, it's like they gotta handle their responsibilities, but then they wanna hang on to this identity, so they just go all in the wrong way, you know? Like, let me chase this and sacrifice all of that, forget about, you know, what you gotta do. And to me, that's not the right way to approach it. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not your identity. You know, you're the one with the paintbrush, brother. You're the one with the paintbrush, regardless of who you are. You know what I mean? You paint this picture, you can erase it and repaint yourself however you want. So if this rap game thing doesn't work out for you, it's not the end of the world. Just like if you break your knee, you know, you tore the ACL in the first 15, didn't make the All Blacks. Sekius, you know what I mean?
Got the paintbrush add to the canvas.
You can do anything, you know? Yeah. My dad was content with building canoes and then coming here and working 12 hours. Because like he put bread on the table, but provided me the opportunity to choose something, you know? And like I'm all good if I gotta settle with something, because I would take all of this hustle, all of this hunger for information and wanting to know the ins and outs of things, and I'll just reapply them to whatever. This dude is a wicked master of reapplying himself, reinventing himself, leveling up. You know, and I'm continuing to be inspired by this dude. Always like, you know, tapping in like, bro, how do you tap in with these people? So like, yeah, I'm glad you dragged me along.
And why does that? Why did you have to like reinvent yourself all the time? What was going on? Like, is it again the trends in the music?
Yeah, well, no, I just feel like, you know, like I still got a lot to learn about myself. You know, like there's like, you know, and I know that there's people out there that, you know, that I could meet who like share like, you know, the similar journey, or like, you know, to the journey. That's how I've always connected with these people, because they're still on the like same come up journey as I am, and you know, and like we have something in common. So, you know, I try like, you know, try to get to know them and also see like what we can do and share our knowledges together, you know, so that, you know, I could like tell my boys like, bro, like I met this guy, G, like he's probably the guy for you if you guys want to come meet him and stuff, you know. And it's always never been about myself. It's always been about like, you know, who's around me and who I believe that can actually like carry their own weight if I was to introduce them to these people, you know. And it's like this is like what he always used to say to us is like, the way how we move is like, you know, I'll go my own way and plant my flag here, and then this is the trail that I took. Like, if you want to come to this flag, maybe it'll work for you. If not, then, you know, maybe you could go try another flag and see if it works for me, type of thing, you know. So it's like, yeah, reinventing myself was like, wow.
I've been planting your flag heaps of places.
Yeah, planting
my
flag.
Wherever you go, plant your flag. I was here, baby. You know, I was
like,
here.
But it's like, you know, through all the like trials and tribulations, also through like all the ups and downs with like music and life.
Even at the downs, you gotta plant the flag sometimes. So you gotta look back down and see that orange flag and remind yourself, bah, can't go that way again. You know, it's all of that. You know.
Yo, there's one thing that I'm like you know, that I started like being proud about myself is like actually like not really caring, but also like throwing myself out there to people without like, you know, thinking about how they care about me, or like, you know, maybe we'll get along, maybe we won't, you know. That's the end of the discussion. It's all good.
That's a big obstacle for a lot of people, a lot of artists, to put themselves out there and be scrutinized by everyone in the world, because
especially now,
especially these days with social media. But like, even with me, like when we started the podcast, and you know, it's like no one teaches you about who cares about what other people think.
Yeah,
you know, just do what you have to do, because no one teaches you that 100 people are gonna hate it and 100 people are gonna love it, like, you know. And we always think about the negative.
Yeah, the negative. Yeah,
the chances are 50-50. G.
The chances of negative thinking.
Nah, that's a mean way to put it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, man. So,
sure.
but no one teaches us, you know,
No.
and we get discouraged by any negative, any
Yeah.
in the comments of social media, and
Yeah.
YouTube comments, and all that kind of stuff.
And also at home as well, you know, like Polynesian homes as well, you know.
Built into our culture almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you get like outed in the village as being like, what are you up to, bro? Why are you trying to grow dragon fruit? Well, we only grow taro and bananas here, so you know what I mean? G? This dude's weird, so you know what I mean? G? Like that's how I honestly know islanders are like that. You know, I love islanders. I love our people. You know, but it's just funny like that. Like you try and wear some new shoes, bro, or something like some. I remember when skinny jeans started, so like, there was still like 80% baggy clothes, and so like, you right?
That was the scary to me. I woke up with my skinny jeans, man. The man's like wearing his dickies. Is like, suddenly, what the fuck?
No, it's funny like that. But someone got to shift the culture, and then it's like, oh, Crocs are cool now. So like, oh, you know, we rock out ears to school now. You know, like, what are you on about? Dude? We bring our church fans. You know, like all of that integrates into our culture. But initially, bro, polys, we're not good with like different things. But like, what you trying to do stand out here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
But it
much
is what
love.
it is. Yeah.
And in terms of Polynesians, and this is including every Polynesian here, Australia and America, like I think, you know, when I watched the 449 documentary, and it wasn't even 449, I first knew when it came to drill music. The first time I heard about drill music was HP Boys. That's when you guys went to Melbourne, that's their area.
Yeah.
But the way 449 blew up, to me, looks like the same way NWA blew up in the West Coast. Because that is hip hop, but it's their style of hip hop. They sort of changed it, made it like
Subgenre.
It was gangster rap, huh?
Yeah.
Gangster rap, yeah.
So they sort of took the East Coast and made it into their LA style. And this is sort of what 449 did. Like they still kept their Australian accents. They took the drill from UK, which took it from south side of Chicago, but made it into their own. And I think that originality. Like you guys were mocking it in the beginning, but then that's pretty good. Like later on, but I think that's just the progression of what happens when something original comes out.
Yeah.
When people haven't heard that shit before, of course they're gonna mock it because they haven't heard it before. But when it sticks, there's something special there.
Yeah,
you know, something special. When I think of hip hop, like me growing up, like I can see all the changes happening through the history of it, right? And for me, man, because I loved hip hop. And for me, the change, like when Bone Thugs first came out, it's like, what the hell?
Yo,
this is different.
Way left of anything in.
Yeah, man. So I thought, this is a new genre. It wasn't a new genre, it was just them that doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Cypress Hill was another, like the Latino vision of gangster rap, but Bone Thugs, that sort of changed those different sounds were original. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, carrying on, like, the moment I thought hip hop was going down was when the trap started.
Name a song.
And I was thinking, what the hell is this, man?
That's A1's era.
I can't even understand what they're talking about. They're mumbling. And,
And
wait, depends what trap.
You're talking about mumble rap, like Lil Yachty.
That kind of stuff. Is that
Lil
trap?
Pump. Yeah, it's like you said, it's morphed and morphed. You know,
Like how
now
Joe
it's had babies,
like how Joe's morphing. Like it started from Chicago drill, then UK drill, now Australian drill,
and Jersey drill, now Bronx drill. You know,
and you know what I thought when I heard that stuff? I couldn't understand it. I was thinking, am I like Elvis now? Like, you know, when because my parents didn't like hip hop, but they loved Elvis. And we're like, man, that's old. You know? But now am I the old guy and the kids are like, that's not hip hop. Like I'm saying, man, that's not hip hop. Like, what is that? But the kids are loving it though. So that's that moment. I was thinking, oh man, hip hop's gone down. But now that's just the evolution of it now.
That's it.
That's the thing. Like that's why I'm like, you know, that I'm grateful that me and the also was like born in the 90s because we like got the best of both worlds. Like we grew up listening to like, you know, in our childhood, like kid years, listening to old school hip hop, like, you know, like 90s and even like 80s, you know, hip hop. But then we also understand like the new school music as well because we can actually like vibe to it because we grew up listening to new school music during our like teen years, you know. So we got like the best of both worlds, and now it's like, you know, I can understand like why these guys are saying, oh, old school music is thing or like new school music is thing. I'm like caught up in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand both sides. I'm like the medium right here.
Yeah, our generation's like I believe 90, like let's say 90 to 95. It was like there's a unique generation because they're like in the transition between like the 80s and the beginning of the 2000s.
Yeah.
And then like being just old enough to experience what it was like when all your cousins and uncles,
We're rapping
when
that
everyone
music.
was outside, for real. No one had cars. Everyone was walking everywhere, you know? And then sort of living through that, growing through that, experiencing that, and that being like nostalgic to you. That was part of your childhood. It was radio, you know, it was big back TVs. We had, you know, it was still money on the bus, you know, you get the ticket and you get a snapped and shit like that. Bro, the Middlemore Bridge was still like rickety, you know, all the train stations were all rickety, like ancient rickety train stations, you know.
Straight up.
So like we got to experience that and then come into the 2000s where it was like, bro, Ludacris and like J-Lo and, you know, like it was like so buzzy. Beastie Boys, like, or not Beastie Boys, maybe like Eminem and all of them, you know. It was just all these offshoots of like of culture, you know, but eventually it trickled down and refined into like, okay, what's the culture chosen now, you know?
Oh,
and
okay,
then it's another game, like, okay, we're in this round, we're gonna go UK drill, you know, and then it just constantly shifts, and every one of our subcultures will shift with it. Some may be slower, like all the boom bap dudes are still at the back of the line, like, hurry up, like, bring hip hop back, you know. And the new cats, bro, they're popping 9 Xanax to make a song.
And if you asked them if they knew Bone Thugs or Tupac, they wouldn't know.
Bro.
But we know, like, and if they ask us who's a new artist, like they just came out, we'll know too.
We know these young cats.
We know them.
And we know the older dudes who still want to boom bap. This dude's a network king, and like I'm like a business, like I like to be the slick salesman dude. So this dude makes the intros and I talk the shit, you know, and then we just bounce forth and like we make friends out here with the youngins, you know what I mean, with the gospel artists, with the singers, you know, with the managers, with the old cats that's still like, so I remember Sandringham back in the days or so. Like, you know, G, we never used to rap like that. Like, you know what I mean, G? Like, we know all of them and we respect all from the whole spectrum. So I feel like us sort of uniquely, like, I know everyone's probably like, what are you on about, bro? Gee, me and the bird always been on some, like, we don't care where we are. We just bounce and say what's up, you know?
I've met some, like, I've met some people like that do music I wouldn't even listen to, like in hip hop, like that, you know, that trap music, that mumble rap, whatever. Like I've met some people like that, but like, you know, it's like I find it interesting in a way because it's like, I don't know, it's like the way that they the way how they handle the song, like how they produce it, you know, and it's like so creative, like all these sounds and like down to like the beat, and also how they mix and master. Like it's not like you know, like the effects that you have with your vocals and stuff. Like there's new vocals that I've never like effects that I've never heard, and it sounds like solid as like I could use that into a song that, you know, that I'm making, you know, and it's like I just like, you know, meeting people and just picking like.
But their subcultures are different too, which is buzzy because they're like emo trap or trap rap, whatever they want to call it now. Like I've lost track of what it is. You know what I mean?
I did not know emo came into hip hop because I saw Regan's skit on
the latest one.
Yeah, the latest he was doing emo, and I was thinking, oh, was that what they're doing now? I never heard of emo thing before.
Oh, you
I
know?
just saw I saw his skit and I was like, oh, are they doing emo now? Because I remember, because I was into that whole what was that grunge stuff? The emo, when the emo started with the sort of like who's some of the bands like who's that New Zealand band?
Like Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I didn't know that was going into hip hop now.
Yeah, well,
it's like it's a weird like melding of cultures because like everyone will box us in the same genre, But if you chuck us in the same room, we'll be like,
with all different genres.
they all got like off-white with like those long, flary, fluffy jumpers and like pink fashionista, green sunglasses and shit. Like, you know, all more power to you, brother. Like the way you rock. But they got their own subculture that, like, we've gotten to witness some of these dudes and like, you all know each other. Like the way we know each other ourselves, and we don't know there's other veins, like skater veins. You know what I mean, of hip hop. They're like they like being exclusive.
Yeah.
All of these dudes, they like this like Balenciaga 3000. Like, dude, there's real life dudes in Auckland who are just like, bro. I'm telling you, there's real life dudes out here, and I'm just like, you guys take the rapper shit to like the most, you know, and I fucking love it, G. They use like wake up and just like, yeah, like, yeah, like, G, for real, there's real circles of dudes with all these palangis and like, bro, that's fuck, G. You're Samoan, I know you're Samoan, like, G.
Pull up to a random spot. He's like, bro, can you take a quick flick of my foot, please?
G. All the same, like.
Nah, but all out to them, like, straight up.
All
like,
up, like, we're just saying we've
it's just so
experienced
funny.
some, like,
it's
what?
buzzy seeing, like, different type of, you know, and then, like, you still, like, your old school gangster rapper, like, you know, pull up in a hoodie and, like, in a place where there's people like that, and it's like, oh, man, I'm just looking at the times, like, this guy, like, time traveled from, like, the future, and the other bear time traveled from the past.
From the past, if anything.
Like, you know, because I understand that it is, like, it's, like, just so buzzy
And
seeing
we're in
this
the
stuff.
middle.
Yeah,
because times are just evolving so fast that things are getting created in the same space. Like where before it was like you were saying grunge, emo, pop. You know, like
I feel like Lil Wayne's you know, he's the one that made emo rap. Like, you know, he didn't do it in that type of style that they're making it now, but like, you know, he like transitioned into like a rapper that was like a rock star.
Skater boy rap.
Skater boy rap.
Because like Travis McCoy, skater boy rap. Like there's all these, like even Ludacris and them.
And it goes back to like what Osa was saying, you know, you got your own paintbrush. Like, you know, you can like change yourself as many times as you want. Who you want to be, you know, like.
You shouldn't care. Like, who cares? I've gotten to this funny point where I'm just like, before I honestly, every word and line used to be like, someone might misinterpret that as untrue. I gotta scrub that line. So like that's stopped a lot of my songs a lot of the time.
Oh,
I'm like, I gotta be like 100% factual in my songs. Like, but some people don't care, and it like bothers like hip hop heads. Sometimes it bothers me, but with my own work, I choose to like, if it's not gonna be 100% factual, then we're gonna make it like 80% creative, conceptual, and we're gonna add some elements of some experience, you know. But I'm not just gonna flat out here, you know. I was chilling on the block with the homies, like so. Like
That line's been said. Eh?
you
that
know what I
line's been
mean,
said already.
bruh. But yeah, it's just so. Hip hop is just so like wide and so long. There's so many little steps in between it, constantly evolving.
It's like a country with just heaps of different cities where, you know.
Facts.
Like, if you hip hop country, and then there's all these cities, like, you know.
See, and there's like different things tied in with hip hop. You know, the car scenes, b-ball, combat sports. You know, like music and life is like intertwined in so many ways, and that's what I love about music. You know, if someone knows you make music, anyone can like get with you, like get with, give us a listen. You know, like my boss in there. You know, some dude found my songs because he added my Instagram, but my Instagram's open for anyone to follow. But I don't know how he found it. This Balangi dude. And like I walked into the workshop and they're playing it, and then people start approaching me, you know, and it's just buzzy that these random people are like, man, I really like your music. You know, anyone, like, I'm telling you, Palangis, Asian, like, oh, they're good song, bro. You know, I like this one, man. Like, you know, it's like music is so universal that, and if you can move like how we choose to move, to just be like open with anyone, like, solid, bro, you enjoy that? Give us a follow, man. Like, and just try and chase it any which way, you know? But yeah.
You know, when you guys came back from Australia to Auckland, did you see hip hop the same as when you guys left it? in Auckland, in South Auckland especially. Like,
Nah, it was just changing. It was like what I was saying before was transitioning like into the influence of the Australian hip hop. Yeah, like I was seeing more like, and another like one thing that like I like honestly like acknowledge with like Australian hip hop is that like they actually like bring out everybody to be comfortable with like the accent, like you know. Like I've always been rapping in a New Zealand accent, but you know, just that South Auckland slang. Like you can tell the difference when you're from South Auckland or from Auckland. Like you get to Oz and like
Facts.
people will say, like when you talk, they'll be like, "Oh, you're Kiwi, so that must mean that you're from like somewhere in New Zealand." But like when you talk and you sound like South Auckland, they're like, "Oh, you're from South Auckland, eh?"
Are you from Otara?
Otara, yeah. Are you from Otara?
Mangere, right?
Or Mangere, yeah. Like you know, and it's like that's one thing that I acknowledge because, bro, like when I was like you know coming up as well, like nobody wanted to rap in like a New Zealand accent besides like David Dallas Homebrew and like you know the influence of America. But see, now that Australian hip hop has made a good impact of like you know of hip hop, you know, like for us Polynesian, because they're the face of. I reckon now Australian hip hop is the face of Polynesian hip hop now, you know.
yeah,
Right
Facts.
now, and they made it more comfortable for like you know the up and coming artists like Polynesians to use their you know actual accent.
Facts.
because I remember a lot of people, especially with the New Zealand hip hop, singing in the accent,
Yeah.
New Zealand accent, like David Dallas. Like,
Yeah.
I was one of them. Like everyone was like laughing at it. Like,
Yeah.
man, that sounds weird.
It sounds
New
strange.
Zealand,
It's weird, yeah,
New
you
Zealand
know.
accent, you
Yeah.
know.
Because we're used to listening to like Tupac and Biggie and
Yeah.
that, like
Yeah.
the American accent and our cousins freestyling in the ears.
In the American, you
in the
know?
American
Yeah.
accent, you know. But that's one thing I've always like, you know, like when I grew up doing music, like David Dallas was like one of my favorite artists, you know, growing up because he was from Southside, like you know.
It's
But
from
he was
Pam 278.
he was different to all the other Southside artists, you know. All the other Southside artists had that American accent, but only David Dallas at the time he had the.
He made
NZ
the
accent.
switch first, really.
Yeah. And like I've heard a lot of people like say, "Bro, fuck, that sounds gay." Like New Zealand accent, like that sounds annoying. But like to me, I felt like, bro, I feel like at home when I listen to his music. Like that's how that's how people talk in home, you know. Like they speak with the accent, and that's why I started rapping in my accent, like feeling comfortable because he made it comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Like how the Australian drill artists like made it comfortable for these artists now, you know, the police to rap in their accent.
I can't remember Scribe having the
Yeah, Scribe's-
New Zealand. He's got a New Zealand accent, but you can't really hear it, eh?
They did,
when
nah, those dudes, yeah. They dudes all rapped with New Zealand accents. You know,
But
my
it wasn't like pronounced like David
Because
Dallas
they didn't
was,
have that like what do you call it, like that mainstream American hip hop sound, you know, like
Bro, I'll tell you a difference is they're like Morocco and them will still have like, they'll still say like, when I was walking down at home, like they'll say like, elements of it, home, like, but then like when we put this new criteria on it, it's like home, like you know what, you gotta tell it that's not the NZ, it's not NZ enough.
sound like Australian.
You know, I was straight stoned. Like you gotta you gotta accentuate how New Zealand you are now.
Yeah.
But bro, since we out west and you know we've been talking big south side this time, since that's all we know and we haven't been exposed to much of the west side until recently, you know, like with the internet and everything. Bro,
Homebrew is like
homebrew.
you know, YGB.
I got Tom Scott, #1, MVP, GOAT, rapper. For me, personally. But when I heard that, like, my only mates are like, gee, there's these dudes from this place called Avondale, like, in West Auckland. Like, I'm like, hey, Avondale. Because I listen, and bro, we buzzed out, like, tell it, it's like he's talking, like, you know, like, gee, you know, it's 3 to 6 and I need a fix. So I take my bike down to Pack and Save, because they got cheaper licks. Like, you know, like, the shit he's saying, like, bro, we're like, fuck, this is our life. So like, bro, all their songs, like, should we get a box? And then they're talking about chippins and like our day-to-day life. We'd never heard that. Like everyone else, because everyone wanted to be a gangster. And I, you know, to be fair, I wanted to be a gangster too. But to hear that element, like from in our city, but not out south, like there's rappers. Like to me, I was like, hey, there's rappers out that do stuff out there, you know?
That's buzzy, eh? Because you're right. He's talking about how we talk every day.
Yeah.
but he's putting
yeah.
in the song.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, so what have we been doing all this time?
Yeah, 100%. He cracked it like he's just talking like that.
Talking like we're one of the homies.
Yo, like he literally said, you know, I was 3 to 6 and I need a fix. So I take my bike down the pack and say, because they got cheaper licks. I'm feeling something, so I need a stony. He got seeds and sticks. So I asked him for a cheeky tick. Like, you know, like he says this, and we're like, fuck. I just asked him for a tick. Shit, this dude's speaking for me, G. Like, bro, and like I just moved to West Side, so I went to Melbourne, and when we came back, we all disbanded, and I moved by myself to my own family, and those all stayed together as our little music collective. But like I moved to West. I'd never been to West. It was like moving back to Oz for me. It was like, where am I, G? Like, I honestly do not know where I am. Like, I couldn't tell you where I am right now, G. Like, and bro, I was at the laundromat one day. Fucking, I walked out, bro, and it was Tom Scott walking his kid. Bro, I was like, babe. Check your phone, babe. I was like so nervous to like ask him, like, bro, can I get a photo of you? And like his energy was like pushed his pram to his missus, and he's like, "It's all good, bro. Like I'm just a normal dude." Like, and then every day since I'll see Tom Scott walking, and then I'm like, "Fuck, this dude's achieved the perfect balance of like fame but normal guy." You know what I mean? And I admire that about that dude, because at this point in my career, I don't want to really attain the mention, and like I'll take it if you're offering it, like, you know what I mean. But Tom Scott's got a mean like artistic balance. Like he's got, especially the shit at the Avondale Bowling Club, you know, these, like, I don't even live that life that he's talking about, you know, like the pub. He's a bit of an older generation, you know. His dad's like a English jazz musician, you know, from a different cloth, you know. But I enjoy his storytelling so much as I love Face Killer's storytelling about how we grew up, you know, and all the boys that grew up and that make music now that tell our stories, you know, still the new stories as well. But to the West, shout out to the West for giving us
Tom Scott
and the whole of Homebrew and CA, you know, all the outside people that always get forgotten because of that tension, that whole like, these are just shit criminals. That's why he's always on the news. And it's like, yeah, but you guys are just pussy criminals. That's why he's never on the news. Like, you know, that's how it was when I was young. Go on camps, like, fuck, West Side, fuck, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, sorry.
I've never seen them on the news.
We never seen it. We used to ride that, like, bro, we in newspapers. Bro, I can't go sleep at night because the ghetto birds outside my house so much. Like, that's how we used to feel as Southsiders. But everyone else is like, these are weird. Like, you know, but to us, we're like, gee, they're scared of us or something. But
It's the identity. Yeah.
the identity of like being from Southside, you just grow up there. Like a lot of people.
Southside just likes looking for trouble.
Yeah, talk to us. I don't know, but West Side's got a whole different. Bro, West Side to me is like a whole different country out here. Like not a whole different country, but it's like it's a whole different culture. And bro, I've had mean bars like meeting islanders from here and like, fuck you, did you just go to Avondale? Oh, so like what schools were like mean back then? What was the meanest school like that the Palangis used to go? And they're like, oh bro, Avondale might be like fully brown now, but back then it was like all white. That was the good school, and learning their culture and how they like rolled around. It was real similar to us in different ways, different islanders, you know, different schools fought and all of that. But bro, Westside and CA and East and all of that, they all got mean stories too that don't get highlighted, you know, in the game. But
Because I always thought, like growing up, because I grew up here, but growing up, like always thought that South Auckland always had predominantly Pacific Islanders. North Shore had predominantly white people. East had Asians, and Central had sort of like mix.
Yeah.
But West had a mix.
yeah,
It wasn't actually one ethnicity dominant.
Yeah.
It's like a whole,
It's a proper mix, like yeah. So
Because even when I was staying out, like I'm not staying, but like when I come visit my cousin, like my fam's out in Avondale, like even I thought that West Side was like a buzzy, like, you know, a buzzy city, like. Bro, everything was so different to me. Like, you know, I see a lot of more colourful faces now, you know. It's like all the neighbours and stuff are not all either like, you know, Polynesian or Māori, is like, and the vibes there is just like, it's just so different and just so buzzy. Like I never expected like It's like me going to another country, like what I also was saying, you know, like everything's all different out here.
To make it extreme. But to be honest, if I was 17 and you dropped me off here, so like good luck. That's the only time I'll be like 111, please take me home. I don't know where I am, bro. Like I hadn't even heard a lot of the suburbs. You hear Henderson, like
Avondale.
for me, Avondale. From out there, and
That's
like,
all I knew.
Kelston boys.
Oh yeah, Kelston, yeah.
Sweet and sour, you know, like you hear those, like when the dancing was on, you hear like mean names, you hear things from out west. But I guess back then it was just like so insulated. Unless you played footy or had family, some in other suburbs, you didn't. For me, I didn't get to experience. I had like one funeral out west that I remember, and that's it. That's all I had ever been out west. All I had met my family out west. I got heaps of family out west, but I just don't know. I literally could walk past them and not know who they are.
Oh, yeah.
But west, that's why I love the west. It's like, you know, something new to discover for me all the time. You know, I always meet buzzy ass people, and like you said, I mean, different integration of culture. Like it'll just go brown, white, Indian, Asian, brown, Arab. You know what I mean? But out south, it's 360 brown with mix of Indians and Paps and Arabs, you know, but you sort of know where. But like you said, botany's like on the edge of Otara, so you know that's where the Asians sort of stay. And some Asians got nice houses on the edge of Otara. You know, you sort of know, but it's like you start in South, Pap, it's like you see some Indians, but brown. Otara brown, Mangere brown, Sakanini brown, Kura brown, you know? And that's the one place that you can experience that. And I think that's why I think our culture is so rich as islanders, you know, and why your guys' culture is unique in its own way as well. That it's been melded with all these other experiences. Like there's like poor whites, you know, like the ghetto whites that grow up with you, and then you got like the fancy whites, but they like still all good with you, like you know, like you know them.
That's it. That's exactly it, man.
Yo,
that's exactly it.
But we never had that. Like the Indians stayed away from us because motherfuckers stole lunch and you know shoes and like it wasn't us, but like it just that's what it was outside. Dudes, Indians getting stock for their iPhone 1s when they're brand new MP3s. So. But out west it's like, yeah, bro, are you down? Can I listen to it at lunchtime, bro? Like we never got like the sharing friends or it was just like we had a whole different dynamic out
like,
there.
Eating our lunch, like bro, even at school, bro, like you have to like buy it, sneak it up,
Quickly
and they
scoff
go,
it, G.
like
biting the homies like it's one bite, bro. Biting half of it, like
nearly biting off his finger.
oh. If we had money, it's like we could have bought like a special, but we went straight a mountain of $10 chips and like you know sauce. Like we didn't. I seen some of my Tongan mates like creep in with the Inkias and the mum's bringing butter chicken and like, Tolly, what's that, G? Because the smell doesn't smell like curry. Like you know, everyone's experiencing. Some people got to experience like other cultures. Like you know, I was in some accelerant classes and intermediate, and I was in some higher learning classes in college. Like. So I got to be in classes with Indians and that, and their circles are buzzy as, and when they interact with me, it's buzzy as, you know, because otherwise you'd never see them around the islanders. They're all playing foursquare and gutter ball inside the school, and all the islanders are under the tree, fucking smoking and all of that. So it was just like a whole different paradigm. But out west, that's what I love to see is the mix and meld of cultures. Like, you know, that old Islander man has owned their house since the 50s, but so has that old Palangi lady across the road, and they've known each other, and you know, in their family, like that's mean as well. That people in Avondale still own houses. You know, there's still people who have their family homes in Avondale, sort of like Ponsonby. But ourselves, we don't know that. At least for me, a lot of people, some people do have houses that they've rented to own through state homes and shit like that, but not houses. You know, like. Barely anyone had a house, so like you might grow up in Rewa, but you might end up in Clendon, then you might move to Weymouth, then your dad might get a job in Pep, but you're still like bouncing around south, but no one owns anything, you know. All we know is state housing all the time.
Well, it's interesting the migration of Pacific Islanders in Auckland. So you know my parents, they came from Samoa. Everyone went to Greyland. Like Greyland was. Like Utara back in the days, you know, like South Auckland. There was no South Auckland. It was just farmland, paddocks. All the Pacific Islanders were in town, Ponsonby, Greyland. And then when that when that gentrification happened, they built all the factories out south. So, oh yeah, you guys go over there. That's where the jobs are. There's a brand new house over there. Leave these old houses to...
Yeah.
But not knowing,
grand.
these are $1 million houses right now, you know? And you know, it's good that some of the islanders stayed there. You know, there are some that stayed.
Yeah. And my
They never
gang is
sold.
from CA. And her family just sold like a couple years ago. And like me, that's what I mean. Like I've had some, like once I went to Oz and came back and didn't stay out south, I had to stay everywhere else, you know? And like they're like deep, they're like first generation islanders. Like the granddad built the house that they sold with his own hands, like back in the days. So I got to cook it. It was me, my partner, her mum. It was the family house. So over the years, like those rooms are occupied by different people, and you know it's got history on the walls and the first old as. But the uncle, he was like in his 70s, was next door. And this is me like going in his room and having cones with him, and he's like got the little TV with the microwave, you know, those microwave meals, and he's got his beer set up. Like those old man like got his cup of tea, his ciggies nice, like, and we just have like chats, like, bro, he'll tell me everything, like, and he was a forgetful dude, you know. Fucking, it was funny. He'll be like midway through a story, like, and yeah, like the King Cobras started as a boys' youth club, and sorry, what was I saying? Like, you know, but I'd have all these like, my gang will be like, bro, go hang, like, because I always used to go out south, but after a while I started liking to hear his stories of how it was for him and his siblings and how it's changed over the years and how he buzzes out on me, you know, he like, oh, you young bloods, you know, you guys are totally different to how we were. We were shirtless with the leather vest and we hitchhiked everywhere, sat in trees for festivals, you know, like, bro, all these crazy stories. Like, once we're worried, like, yeah, bro, we were like 14 at the pub on K Road, bro. Like, police, you know, the jacks walking past and harassing us, but we were just, you know, all the adults, all the older people, we drink there every day. We didn't go to school, like, you know, it was all those stories like enriched my perspective on islanders, Polynesia, the culture, the roots of it, you know, especially from listening to him and bro, and all the uncles that have come through and drank there, and like, yeah, bro, I'm one of the original Polynesian Panthers, bro. You see that photo where they're creeping through the window? Bro, I was right behind the dude with it. The dude who was climbing through the window, I was right behind him, bro. Like, deep, you know, David Longy? Yeah, man, he was the one who came, and all the uncles telling their little stories, and the next generation, like, yeah, so like, everyone started selling, and then our family and the Islanders left started becoming the Crims, and then they like started becoming fancy, you know, like the Islanders over there. Like, it was a buzzy ass story, and the rest of them went out south, and we just watched them dwindle, and our neighbors move in, and then they end up knowing us. Like, yeah, so when he was, you know, the uncle that's already like 40. So I remember when he was like 7, we used to send him to go and knock on doors, and if they answer, like, oh, I'm looking for my cat, like, just tell them to say I'm looking. But any doors there's no one answers, they're like, just come back and we'll give you a lolly, you know. Like, that whole culture of things, like the street culture of how they used to move back in the days. He's like, yeah, mate, the dream was a Harley to ride around New Zealand. Like, you know, if you could get a Harley and a beautiful woman, brother, you're set. Like, bro, I'm telling you, he's like, we just had a blanket, you know, 6-pack of EBs and a dream. Let's go. Like, they just, every day was that whole culture. Like, man, I listen to those stories and I'm like, fuck, that's so buzzy that it took all these generations, and then it allowed my parents to come here, you know, and then they had their own journey of what New Zealand was. That's when like all the factories were pumping in. You know, they built the factories, but there still wasn't enough islanders to fill all the homes and all the roles there. So they did the welcome Pacifica, like, you know, build our city, please. And as soon as they built our city, solid funded the meat factories, the paper, you know, all the gasoline, the bus, the rubbish services, you know, all of that we were all in those trenches. As soon as it was done, dawn raids. I'm sick of all you 15-year-olds at the pub. Where's your parents? Where are they? 2 jobs, 12 hours, you know. Like, same story over and over, but bro, Polynesian story is one of the meanest, craziest stories of New Zealand history, bro. I'm telling you.
Especially the urban ones, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Like those days. And I guess the main music for those guys was reggae. Yeah.
Yeah, and rock.
Reggae and rock, eh?
For my Mrs. Uncle Jimmy. She like, yeah, bro. I remember when Led Zeppelin came to New Zealand, bro. You know what a Thunderbird is? I'm like, yeah, well, anyway, it's like a Corvette. Like, talking about the fucking luscious mullet and he's cruising in it. You know who Jimmy Thunder is? He's got the fastest knockout on the world and he's Samoan from, like telling me all this history. Like, bro, he's a buzzy dudes, bro. This
like
man
my
had
old
the
man
Jerry
too.
curl. Yeah, this dude's old man's classic, G.
This is like my old man as well, like telling me stories about like back then and like Auckland Central, But
Did he come off the plane and straight into Ponsonby?
Nah, he didn't
man.
go Ponsonby, but he was like, so he came when like all of that, like when everybody was starting to move into Southside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the bakeries and stuff were still in Central, and my dad was working there. So my dad came on. My dad came for village games just like any other people.
Oh yeah.
Played a ball.
Don't get him in trouble,
But he was telling me like back then in Central, like when they were drinking and stuff, like Aotea Square was like the main meetup spot to like handle business, like to handle everything or go meet up with your girl or like and said that like it was so lively, like it was. If you go into the city now, the only times when it's lively is like in the weekends, like from like from 8 o'clock until like 4 o'clock in the morning, But back in those days, like bro, everybody was all out. And you were saying, bro, that was like the best times to be in like the city, The roads weren't like so congested how it is now. Like, like everybody like, speeding and stuff. And that used to be like the old space for like car racing and stuff, Queen Street. That was the old dragways,
Because I was a kid in the 80s, and town was the only place to go.
Yeah.
Like no one goes, and there was no hardly any malls anywhere.
Yeah.
There were malls, but not as like now.
Go meet up at the arcade, the CD shop, vinyl
Like
shop, whatever.
downtown was the place to be.
Yeah, 100. Oh, not that I know, but I'm agreeing with you anyway. So,
But now, these days, no one goes down anymore.
nah.
Only just for the weekends, man.
Yeah.
Like,
But I can imagine your man, like, hanging out.
Bro, he loved it. Like, he's like, like driving in town now. He's like, oh, look at this rubbish.
How it used to be, like how they used, my missus' mom saying, like, bro, K Road, that was like bustling, like all taro stands, banana stands, like how you see Otara on Saturday. That's how you see K Road every day at 5 p.m. or after 3 p.m. All the school kids coming, all of St. Paul's, Ponsonby Intermediate, Herne Bay, all of those. Like, I don't even know these places, but I fell in love with the culture, like, fell in love with the history, reading, like, the books and seeing my Genghis family, like, in the, and this guy, like, famous people, like, his dad was like one of the ones that came over on the boat with our dad, and they built their house over there, like, and it's so rich, bro, like, and we'll never get it back is the sad thing, like, how people are trying to they're saying, like, make Ponsonby brown again, like, I wish they'd let us, I wish, like, out of nowhere, all these like brown property investors just like popped out with millions in their bank and the highest inflation that we've had in history. Like, you know what I mean? And make Ponsonby brown again, brother. Shit, we trying to keep South Auckland brown, brother. Botany's creeping in from the back and, just getting spicy out here, but it's all good. I think New Zealand's always going to have a place for us.
Well, it's just evolved, from like how, like from back then, like the Polynesian journey, like, here in New Zealand from Central and then down to like, like South Auckland, and then everybody getting branched out to like different, like say West Auckland, East
Hastings,
Auckland. Bro, if you listen to like the Polynesian music, like, like it's all different in NZ. Like you go down to Wellington, they got their own sound. Go down to Hamilton, they got their own sound. Go down to like Christchurch, they got their own sound. Even like on the West Coast and the East Coast,
No.
And that's one thing I buzzed out too, is like all the music that they have there is like, bro, they don't make music like that up here. Some of them are so ahead of their time too. Like, some of them are ahead of the game in NZ, and it's like tapping them with those guys are like, like
small town country boys, eh?
pick ideas, and I'm like, bro, this guy's like ahead of his time. I might as well grab something of that, and like, like just for my own knowledge, just if I'm ever put in a space where I have to hit one of those beats, I know how to rock it, and it's like, bro, it's buzzy just listening to different artists. I just finished a show like 2 weeks ago in Hamilton But mind you, bro, the Hamilton culture, bro, shout out to them. I always love performing in Hamilton because
Yeah.
it's not like Auckland.
It's ratchet.
Down in Hamilton is like everybody all comes out to support like Hamilton artists. Like it was so packed in that room, like it was sold out capacity, you know. And it's all Hamilton people. I only bring like, you know, like 3 of my people, but all of them bring like their whole family, their whole friends and friends of friends, and you know, like hyping them up, you know, like bro, these guys are mean rappers, you know. And Auckland, bro, it's like sometimes it gets to a point where it's like standoffish in a bit. Or like it's like out of place, or like it's like one group's with their own group, you know, one group's with their own group.
Oh, okay.
It's like, you know, everybody's separated, you know, and it's like it's not like the Hamilton crowd where it's like everybody's all like there to support. Everybody's all on the dance floor, you know, not like sections like in Auckland, like, you know, any like your supporters will come on the dance floor and like support you.
Do you think it's because people in Auckland, they're selective when it comes to hip hop? Like you either like it or you don't, and
Because we like hold ourselves as the arbiters of the rules, and you know, like if you want to make it in hip hop, come to Auckland. You know, all these small town dudes, they're mean, and they all aspire to come to Auckland. If they want to chase music, they all move from Marlborough and Chicago, and they come up to Auckland like it's Hollywood to chase it. You know, and then they like entrench themselves in here, and then they're like, fuck, these dudes are just doing the same thing, but just in Auckland.
Yeah.
Like, you know? And it's just like slimier. And, you know, they come in with a mean, open energy. Like, oh, I just want to learn. I just want to meet people. And like, I'm from a small town, and they don't know how Auckland works,
Yeah,
you
straight
know?
up.
And then I just feel sorry for them when they realize after a while how the game works, not only in general, but in Auckland. Like, and how the people in Auckland operate. And yeah, it's crazy how just watching people give up from small towns. Like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna go back to my small town life. Like, I'm not downing it. I'm just saying this is what happens, you know. As I see a lot of small town dudes come up and try it, but then again, not viable. You know, it's not sustainable financially to come move up to Auckland. You make some noise, yeah, you get some extra Facebook followers, and then you go back down and tell everyone how you fucking had a mean show, you know, and then. Yeah, boy. At the Meatworks, fuck, gee, I had a couple mean shows back in my day, brother.
I feel like you guys have the experience to that. You guys know what's going on around in those kind of circles, and that you guys are qualified to change the game or to give advice
Yeah, I feel
to young guys who want to start out here, or you know, like you guys seem to know what's, you know, how to navigate through this whole slimy world of hip hop in Auckland sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know that, like, you know, we do have the potential to try, like, you know, to change the way how things are run inside Auckland, but then it comes down to like being the example, and like, you know, the first thing is music. That's the main thing, you know. In order for us to hit all of these things, is, you know, like say that we need to change this, like we can potentially change this and that. We still got to remember that we are artists at the end of the day, and like that's the reason. If we're going to, like, you know, move into that way, we need to be consistent in how.
That's what's gonna shift the culture.
Shift the culture, yeah.
Is your artistry, but people try and go and shift the culture by being some influencer or forgetting that we make music.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. But you know, we do sound knowledgeable, but we're only one of the many voices, you know, that's been blessed enough to be on a platform like yours and to be able to express all of this stuff. Because this is stuff that, you know, the dude in like Minister Society who bats on about God and, you know, like
Sharif.
Oh, Sharif, you know, like
Sharif.
I'm the dude who's like in the studio, like, bro, what you don't know about royalties, bro? Brother, I want to open my laptop. What's your email, G? Like, I'll sign you up forever. Like, that used to be me. I used to give my energy so hard until I realized, like, man, you can't save everyone. Not everyone's as willing to do that. Like, you know, and I've explored the thought of wanting to maybe manage or help develop an artist, an A&R role, artist development role. Bro, I've sent random emails on my smoker sitting on the forklift. Hi there, any internships at your music firm? Or like, I just go and roll the dice all the time, you know? Like, I don't care what the opportunity is. Like, I just roll the dice, and because cool shit happens all the time. You might just hit 7 one time, you know? And I think a couple times I've hit some magical numbers, but like just giving things a chance, you know. But I know like me and A still got a long way as artists, but like I think me and A, like, just to only speak for ourselves, or maybe to speak for myself, saying I think we got a good idea of together and with a lot of other people around us, like that we can like maybe build something, some infrastructure like underneath it all, you know, like so when people do come, like everyone's had the idea of start a studio, we're just gonna record artists and we're gonna just blow up, bro, you know. But I feel like I've gone through so much trial and error, and I've gone through like tedious hours of learning. If 10,000 hours is the minimum that you need to acquire a skill, I've at least done 20,000, 25,000, and like humbly, you know, because I enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like it's work at times, but like I really enjoy, like really, like if someone really listens to me and like take something on board, or I help them, you know, like take their artistry or their like the things that they can utilize to the next level, or something they can do for themselves, even a plugin, you know, I'll put them on to someone like, gee, my mate's mean at recording that kind of style, gee, you should tap in with him and I'll let him know, and like, you know, give you a free song, or like jump you in for a session, or even A, you know, he's got some people, like I know my homie who can tap you in. I love it when people want to like chase something for themselves, you know?
Yeah, that's a like a good feeling to like, you know, just to watch and see, you know, like seeing somebody doing better for themselves, you know, especially like, you know, when you genuinely like, you know, gave advice in order for them to help themselves, you know, well, like on what we've been through, like, you know. And that's something that like, you know, I reckon that all artists that like, you know, that are actually like, you know, at the same situation as us, or at the same level as us, like, you know, is just start thinking like, you know, like different ways of trying to help the culture, you know, because, you know, at the end of the day, you played your part in the culture, and through your experiences, what you share and what you contributed to it, you know, you played that part. So, you know, maybe we're not gonna crack it, maybe, you know, but maybe
be proud of your part.
Be proud of your part. And there's always somebody out there that's gonna be better, like, you know, and the things that we do that will overwork, you know, more than how we do. Have more knowledge in that. But, you know, as long as we, you know, play our part to genuinely help the culture and, you know, let it like evolve, you know.
Just push yourself.
And,
push yourself and have fun. You know,
have fun at
like,
the end of the day
people always
too.
forget to have fun, bro. Like, being in the studio shouldn't be no stone face Instagram video. Like, I'm a fucking artist, bro. I'm the man, bro. Out 20th of December, bro. Like, that's mean for promo, but that's not what it is. Like, gee, you should be in there with your homies, like,
Laughing.
gee, rhyme with this. Solid, rhyme with this. And you're like, bro, shut up. Trying to record, like,
I'm not gonna lie,
bro, we had some wicked nights,
sessions
bro.
like,
all laughing, you know.
It's like shit, you know, that like, fuck. Shit that you just like, you know, appreciate, like, you know, there's times, like,
those
you know,
8 Mile movements, you know.
it's like a movie, like,
It's
you
like
know,
a movie, bro.
It's like,
I'm telling you,
honestly, like, we did everything, like, you know,
we did
as
some crazy stuff.
just as a collective, you know, like from the shows. I remember this one time I was wasted and this guy was performing there, and I was like at the back, like being hype man. I'm like,
this man had a scarf on his head. This dude had those like, you know, those long scarves, the designer scarves, but it was just like on his head. But he was like, bro, we're on a stage like this small, like 5 of us, like the table.
Wow.
So like, we're all like next to each other, and this dude's trying to spin around and like hype. Bro, his scarf like went like floating off his head, and the man forgot there was like a cord on the mic, and Wincy like chases, tripped over the thing and like landed in the middle of the thing, and everyone was like, oh. Bro, it was fucking funny ass, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, Melbourne City, bro, we had some of the most wickedest, funnest nights.
straight up.
Just doing music, and bro, on some rock stars, some more simpler, you know. Everyone's on, the boys got the $13 country wine from the supermarket, you know, and they're all sharing it. We're just going to the show, no money. $50 from the promoter.
Yo,
You know, we just took shit in the cigarette room, you know, with everyone at the club.
straight
And
up.
we go again. Gee, we're doing the show next week. Blah blah blah. Come, Tim, what's your
Facts.
Instagram? You know,
Sure.
bro, it was crazy.
What was the one most memorable stage performances you guys had?
I
In
reckon
Melbourne?
In Melbourne.
Melbourne. Oh, okay.
And in Melbourne or just in general?
In general, like out of all of them, what ones do you like stands out?
Ace had some notable ones.
Must be Lade. Was there a few?
After a while, it was just like, it depends on what it is. Like whether it was like the funnest night, or,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But there have been some days. Oh, bro, 275 day was actually pretty lit for me, because
Shout
I
out
got
to
put
those
on.
Fits, man.
Yeah, shout out to the Also Fits and the whole 275 for putting on, and all the artists. But I got the opportunity to work with Stelliano and K Killer on one song that slept through the summer, you know. And those are one of those magical nights. Like they already finished their verses and they're waiting on mine, and it's getting to the point where I'm gonna give up and just like, oh, you just have first verse, second verse, and oh god, I'll jump on the next song. Bro, about to go home and cracked my verse and jumped on that song. We're all hip hop artists, and these dudes, those are still like, I don't wanna like make a reggae song and people hear it, like, you know. But we made a hit that day. We're all singing it, so it came out, and I got to perform. Like, bro, it slapped across the city. When my friends in Sydney, like the song just slapped all across. It was sort of a cover of a Tongan song that everyone knows, but our own little twist on it, hip hop twist on it. But we performed it. The boys Stelliano and K Killer, they've experienced festivals already, like, you know, some pretty good numbers and people singing their songs back to them. But for me to be on that song and experience a taste of it, bro, Killer's on my side and Stelly's on my side, and they're singing their verses, and the whole crowd's on the pissing rain, bro. Like, oh, every song, bro. I was like, damn, I'm all going to back up dance right now, G. When I sang my verse, I was like, bro, everyone was vibing because of them, but I got to experience something like, I want to experience that for myself one day, where it's just like, however many, 20, 30 people. If there's 30 people singing the same thing, that sounds wicked, bro. You know, it sounds mean. It makes you feel mean. Even if it's your 5 homies drunk in front, but they're like word for word, and you like realize, gee, these dudes are really riding with me, gee, and you're just rapping to your 5 homies, you know? It's that experience of people singing your shit back to you, that for me is like the dream. So that experience for me was like a taste of like, fuck, if I can only just get one pese where it's me and I can just like do the mic, you know, DJ. What, revealing my dreams, dude, but I want to stop the mic and just get screamed back at me.
Just there's until like pause the music here and it's just no music and they're just singing your song back to you.
And you just, you know, I wrote that in my bedroom, no joke. That song was from my garage. You know what I mean? That, I know for me that's gonna be one of the ultimate like milestones. 'Cause see how I'm talking? Also, I'm not talking like if I. You know, I'm still talking like also when I reach it, bro, it's gonna be wicked for me. And I'm still mad faithful.
But they say talk it to reality.
Yeah,
Talk it to
100.
reality.
It's worked too many times for us. Ew.
Straight up.
Have you anyone? What was your best performance? You reckon?
Best performance, most memorable.
Most memorable.
Oh, bro, my most memorable one. So like, I got accepted to this program, through my social worker. I just finished high school at that time too. I worked with Erman's producer, Anonymous.
Matthew.
So yeah, Matthew. So
He's the man, eh?
Yeah, bro, he's me nice, bro. I went into the studio and Otahu. And like when I walked in, you know, the studio's right there, and then you'll see like all these Vailima bottles on the wall.
I thought you were gonna say awards.
You'll see all these Vailima bottles, and like on these Vailima bottles, it has all the names of the artists who didn't finish their Vailima bottles.
Oh, true.
And it's still like there, like half empty or thing. And it's like, bro, and you can see like, you know, on the Wall of Fame, you see all the local artists that like, you know, I grew up listening to. Now I'm in that studio, like, you know, recording my song. So with this program, I performed with Lavina Williams, K1, and they were featuring on the song as well. So we performed with an orchestra. So I had an orchestra like playing the beat.
Oh, hey.
Damn. Had an orchestra like from the violin to the trumpets and to the brass and that.
Can you name the whole one section?
Jeez. Bro, honestly,
the whole percussion, please.
Drums and that too, like just live instruments, live instruments. And I was performing in front of Balangis, but the song that I was performing was about John Key, like how much I hate him. Like trying to make change in my neighborhood, like like I'm preaching like this little Southside boy, and all these Balangis are just sitting there like.
When's the Bach gonna start playing? When's the Beethoven?
Right, and I'm like, like dissing the government and John Key and talking about like how we're living, and like these guys are just looking at me like, bro, this little shit needs to shut up.
You're funny, like how your iconic experience was straight to see John Key.
Like I felt proud, like like I felt like I was saying something. Like if I finally got to see it in front of these faces with an orchestra at the back, like a movie, like behind me. Dun, 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 dun.
I think it's deeper than that. Oops, man.
Yeah, but
here's a Pacific Island guy from South Auckland telling these Balangis where it's at,
bro, like
and them shutting up and listening.
They have to. Straight theater, like Colosseum style. All those people with the booths like watching.
There was like a part in the section of the song where I had a pause, and I was like saying a speech, and there's John Key at the background like talking. John Key's talking at the back, and like fuck, I swore on it, like I said fuck John Key, but I was just supposed to swear. And I was like, oh.
You know what's funny also? You know what's funny is when me and this dude were like, I'm gonna ruin this whole story, G. When me and this dude were like, starting music 15, 16, we were in trouble with the police and all that. We got put in the Prime Minister's group. So we got flown to Wellington, ate like 5-star restaurant in Wellington, and went to watch the Hurricanes train on 3 News. So then we flew back to New Zealand, got tailored tuxedos, haircuts and everything. And guess what we got to do? We got to shake the hand of the Prime Minister and take a photo. So I'll find that performance, I'll find the photo of those who were shaking his hand. Proud ass. Cap. Stop the cap, man. This dude was saying fuck John Key and shaking his hand.
Nah, geez, so that was after. Once I understood like what he was talking about. Nah, but that was funny, dude. That was a mean trip, dude.
That was a dope trip.
So it must have meant a lot to you because that was your best performance or best.
Yeah, well, I felt like that, like like I was just like genuinely like speaking from like my heart, like and I say like, well, like what my people were like, like talking about, because at that time, like when you're growing up, you're always like blaming the politicians and like of how like our people are living and stuff. Like yeah, it does play a part, but like now that I'm older, like bro, I'm starting to understand that like most of the things that plays a big part is like the stuff that happens at home that doesn't have like the effects of like that doesn't have apart from the government that plays like all day like we say like fuck the government and all of that, like yeah, there are some things that but at the same time it's like for things that happen at home is like that's the biggest thing that plays in people's like in lives and how they move about. But yeah, no, it was just, that's the only reason why like fuck I enjoyed doing that song, because it was in front of people and I was actually like dissing the Prime Minister in
and
front
you
of
got
these
an
people.
orchestra, bro.
And
Who
I had
gets
an orchestra,
no one gets an orchestra.
And Lavina Williams
especially
like
a
singing
dude
in
from
the
Radavine.
background. And also K1, like another hip hop artist from like Masterton, I think.
Yeah. Sorry.
Masterton. So it was like, and also the experience of working with Anonymous, bro, because he's mean, bro. Like honestly, he's old school.
He's a wizard, eh?
He's old school. Like everything's all done by not like nowadays. You
analog.
can just like everything's all analog, and it's like
I heard him on a podcast. He came on a podcast and I was listening to a story.
Yeah.
He's talented, eh? Like starting from church, like being the piano player at the church, eh?
Yeah.
And just moving on to what he's doing now. Like it's all about audio, eh?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like an audio engineer.
Yeah, he's an audio engineer, beat maker. Bro, he's like everything.
He's been like almost a cultural staple, one of them throughout. Like he's been in the game for years and produced and mixed, mastered, recorded, filmed. You know what I mean? He's dipped and dived through the game in heaps of ways, and he's like another person, like Prestige Manuel and Hook Banger from Rip FM. You know, like these independent. Like I can't express enough how much Prestige and Hook Banger and Rip FM from the early days, bro, they got a one news piece because they hijacked the frequency, and sort of the radio people were like finding with the antenna on one news, like, excuse me, mate, are you the one who's hijacking? And you can see us like islanders, like dressed like us, like, hey, nah, probably their house over there. And then they came back with the meter, like, nah, mate, it seems to be your house. And they got like an interview, like, oh yeah, you know, like we just had to do it, you know, like who's gonna give us a radio? And they're like, there's free ones that we can give you if you like, you know,
if you knew
that game, like if you knew,
yeah,
there's free frequencies for free that you can use. You know what I mean? And
you know how much of that knowledge is out there that we don't even know about, like how to get, like that you've accessed.
It's so much more than I've ever accessed, so much more than I could understand. And there are so many brown, Pacifica, Maoli people, Kiwis in the game who are so willing to kick it to you. But like we said, 99.98% of these people don't want to hear it. So they don't want to give it. They've been in the game for so long. They've seen so many people who say who want to hear the game, and then when they kick the game, they're like, too hard, quit. So when someone comes and genuinely wants to learn, and I've always been that person, regardless what it is.
And they're shocked.
Yeah, and they're like, and it'll just hold up.
So where were you 5 years ago?
Yo, facts. But that's like you said, with me and A being in the middle generation, in a unique position in the game, and having like a lot of experience, good and bad, and still learning a lot of things, and still keen to learn. All these youngins, this game I can give you for free, for nothing. I'll just tell you if you're trying to find something out that I know, if I can tell you and cut that time, there's 4 years that I took to learn something. You know what I mean? If I can point you in the direction to the person that can help you with that'll cut your journey in half, and you can be. I want you to be 23. I want you to be a 23-year-old entrepreneur. You know, a music mogul. I want it to be possible because I got my little sisters are like 7, 8, 14. You know, I still got young little sisters that still need role models. You know, that still need people. Like, I'm not trying to diss the rugby players or just the rugby players and the factory worker being the only two options not the only two options, but because it's being a lot of career paths becoming more available lately, but still, polys, that's a lot of what we know. If you're not in the academic scene, like if you're not got your head in your books, your parents are gonna say, chuck the vizzy on, pick pack, let's go. You know, climb your way to manager, settle, retire, get your long service, 35 years, 10K, you know what I mean, and your annual leave, and you retire.
That's settling.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's still what we know, and that's what I want to change. It's like, if I can cut your time in half, also, if I can help you get in these rooms, because I just know some people, like, I'm not like that guy that's like, Johnny, can you fix this up for me, you know? Walk my boy in the room and make sure he's looked after. Like, you know, I don't have that power, but I'm the guy that's like, bro, I met this buddy, I'll flick them a DM, and they're like, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? I'm just like, girls, from here I can't help you because this is all I know and this is all I can do and for this. But maybe later on, if there's something that you need, I can always come back. And you know, there's a lot of people out here that are willing to give this game out. And I'm always looking for Padawans, you know what I mean? I'm always looking for listening for the next dude that's just like no one's listening to. Like, hey, Jay, have you ever recorded before? Like, for real? Oh, son, I'm not trying to glorify it, but I got a mic, you know? Like, come through, we'll try some shit, you know? For free. You need a ride? Safe. Like, I love it that much, you know? Like, gee, did you hear that take oh, there's no auto tune. You know what I mean? Or like their rhythms, bro, 19 straight up. Bro, this dude is something, and you just want to see something, you know? And like A's like in there, you know, and all the boys are like, oh, gee. And when he gaps it, Sully gets a listen, you know, play while he recorded.
I'm
Like,
gonna jump on.
yo, filling his verses, like, bro,
So I
you
already
know?
read a verse.
Gee, no cap. And they're like, yeah, bro, jump on. Like, fuck yeah, that's us. Let's make a song. Like, they're keen as. We're always looking for those people. And like, over time, you learn to not bother with like trying to be friends with everyone, trying to help everyone, trying to be the man to
straight
everyone
up.
and to know everyone. You don't need to know everyone. You just need the people who look after you, you know? The people who always be like, those are, I tip my hat to that dude. All day I'll vouch for him. Even in the smallest ways, like let him in that room. You know this guy? Does he make music? Yeah, he's alright. I met him a couple times, you know? Why not? Give him that meeting. You know what I mean? So all of that, bro, I know it sounds hopeful and I know it sounds like a wish, but I don't know, Jay, in a couple of years, if I have to give up my rap career, I'm always gonna make music. But if I have to give up my rap career now, just find ways to help artists, to manage artists, to develop artists, to build something brown, you know, something crazy. I want something create the next one for bigger impact. You know
I
what I
reckon you
mean?
got the knowledge and experience for it too. So you know,
Nah, 100. I just need a
always been that
Do
type to
something.
always like learning stuff. Like, and I always learn new things after also, you know. So
I heard there's 2 guys out in Kimi Ways that help artists go through the Spotify thing, like how they get their money through streaming and YouTube.
Was that Palangi dude in the island?
Yeah, those 2.
Yeah, so that's Precise Digital, the one I was telling you I was on
Precise
my on my forklift.
Oh yeah.
I was reading the article. I was like, Google Precise Digital email.
Oh, you caught them.
Nah,
you
I
talked to them?
sent them by email,
yeah.
like official ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is blah blah blah. I'm a musician, blah blah blah. Like short and sweet. I'm wondering if there's any unpaid internship positions. I'm willing to learn. You know, or just a shot in the dark. You know, because I see that dude. That dude's a Samoan or Tongan dude working with this Palangi dude who was like, yeah, bro. What? No one told you this before? Come work with me. You know, you got mean music. You got all these cool singing Islander guys, bro. I like what you guys doing. Let me teach you. You know, like I'm talking like these dudes because they're like really like that. They were just real hip dudes. Like, yeah, man. Ode, come over to Precise Digital. Be my partner. We're gonna change the landscape of distribution. We're gonna give fair royalty splits and payments.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
So I read the article too, and that's how I found out about them.
No, that's buzzy. You bring it up, you know. But there's a lot of people out here doing something. We're just a rain drop in the bucket. You know what I mean?
You know, when it comes to like promoting yourself and new artists, especially rap artists, like one guy comes to mind that's done it from scratch is Poetic, because that guy uses social media. Like, because if you think about it, like when I started, the first song I ever heard him sing was the one when he was in Australia.
The one with Stormy.
The one with Stormy, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
That's where I was like,
That's when it kicked off for me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, who's this guy? You know?
yeah,
And then he comes over here and then he does his thing here.
yeah.
But then, you start following him and he's always on social media. Like,
Every
in his
day.
life, every day.
Yeah.
You know? And you just, you just watch, it comes through,
Yeah.
until it's just normal. Now it's just normal. Like,
I read his statuses and watch his stories every day.
yeah. So that guy's promoting himself, like, in a way.
Facts.
And if you look at it now, like you talked about Avondale before, and, Tom Scott was from there. Mellow Down's from there. And now Pointer's got the shop there.
Facts.
And you can almost see his progression, like, through hip-hop, getting all these
It's
music
step
videos.
by step,
Step by step.
You can see
know?
it.
And but all the constant thing is he's on social media. The way he uses social media,
Yeah.
like putting his life in there, like
Yeah.
talking about stuff like he's drinking, he's
Yeah.
going to parties, he's showing everyone
Yeah.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like a reality TV.
Almost. Hey.
It's almost, but people know him,
yeah, people know him.
and
now.
his gears.
Bro.
People buy his gears, man.
I got the 685 original
Yeah.
t-shirt at home.
Yeah.
You know?
So to me, that's like the blueprint of how to market yourself. From like,
Facts.
that he's taken years
Yeah.
going through the years doing
Yeah.
it, but he's been consistent.
Yeah.
But you can see the rewards, what
Yeah.
he's got now.
100. And he hasn't just started, Everyone thought that's where he started. But I know some people that grew up around A's area as well that A put me onto. When I moved to Australia, I had nowhere to record. this dude put me onto them who knew Poetic, and they told me a lot of things. Like, yeah, he was part of this old music group
Yeah, he
in
used to rap,
Otara,
like, back in the days in
Otahu
Otara.
College,
Mm.
and like what I forgot what it's called, but he's been at it. He's probably like 20 years.
2000s
Yeah.
like era, like 2005.
Mm.
Like that's yeah.
His come up's not new, you know. Everyone might see it from there, and it's like you said. I've seen it so bad. I was at Green Jade like any other Thursday, Friday night, getting my takeaways with my kids, you know. And the doors, I didn't notice the sliding door was open at the store. It wasn't the store yet, but I was holding my daughter and she like was beeping the horn, you know. And then I just seen some Islanders look, and then I looked and I was like, "Fuck, that's that thing he on his story." He was like setting up the dream, you know, like the dreams coming true, all the hard work and, you know, making up the hangers and all of that stuff. And but I was right there getting my green chain and I was like, it's right there. You know what I mean? Like literally, I can see this dude. I can ask him, you know, he seems like a dude who's probably almost like, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to run, if you're willing to earn your keep, come run with me. Like, I'll teach you something, you know? And he's a community, he's a key, he's an integral figure in Pacifica music, you know, right now. Shout out to him, bro. We all want to be like him. We all want to be, you might not admit it, but we all want to be like him, bro.
So I was just thinking that we've seen how he's done it with social media. Is that kind of the way to do it then? Or
It is. But it's the job. You got to be your own PA. You got to be your own publicist. You got to watch what you say. You got to reply to those comments, and you got to feel relatable down to those, to your core fan base. Because he does a lot on Facebook, and Facebook is still full of like older people who want you to comment back to them, and they feel so like, gee, Poetic liked my comment.
Yeah.
I know all of these people. They don't realize that he's like, gee, I'm a normal person. Like, and I'll see you at Green Jade, you know, like all the time. But people love it, you know? And I think that's part of it. And then part of it is just like spreading yourself wide and, you know, and fucking constant. He makes a Facebook status, he makes an Instagram story, he makes an Instagram post, you know? It's all tied in back into the website. It all points back to the money maker, you know what I mean? Poetic's the man. Plus that he had such opportune timing, like 1-4, like a random shift in the wind, boom, perfect storm, you know.
he's also turned that name Poetic into a brand too. This is his brand.
Yeah. And the Ville, he's built a lot of things off there, you know. Now that the Village shop, you know, that 676, 685 original, he's even added some new ones, Save the Hood, Don't Smoke Meth, like these new designs and shit. He's really tapped in, bro. He is really a marketing genius, bro. And that's what America teaches you. America, to me, is like the hustlers.
That's
culture.
the hustler culture.
Get money before anything.
All day.
Before you're a gangster, before you're music, whatever you are, you learn to make money. That's what I love about Americans. You know, 50 Cent, bro. 12 years old out here. You know, like mama got killed. I'm out here. You know. Like, not to glorify it, but 50 Cent, bro, man. You know, the Americans, they know the power of the dollar, bro. You know, and I think Poetic having that has brought that to the game. It's like, man, I'm just any way to get it, baby. Shirts, caps, undies, you name it, socks. Let's go.
The stuff we can learn from America, especially groups like how the Wu-Tang Clan started. You know, like you had the. Have you guys seen that the TV series they got about how they started? And that?
Not the TV series, but I watched the doc. That's where that plant the flag concept came from. So like I watched the whole documentary on Wu-Tang, and I was like, bro, RZA is a genius.
Yeah,
he just collected heaps of dudes, and that was the plant the flag dudes. Like, bro, if I get to this radio station, Wu-Tang Clan, you know what I mean? Where you from? I rip my neighborhood. I'm Ben Stuyvesant, but Wu-Tang Clan. I'm from Harlem, Wu-Tang Clan. And just everyone's like, who the fuck are these dudes? You know what I mean?
that's the spread of the brand.
Yeah, exactly. And there's 11 of us, and there's 11 different, or I think there's 11 different styles, and everyone, I like Raekwon better.
Yeah.
You know, I like the Chef better than Jack. I like, you know, everyone had their favorites in there. But in the end, what was it? the wall. You know what I mean? Everyone's like this everywhere. Like everyone loved their Method Man. You know, Method Man's my favorite one. But in the end, bro, and RZA coming up with that, like to me, with the boys out, bro, and this was like peak movie night studio, and then like 3 a.m. we're watching documentaries. Like, with my laptop on, like, gee, turn it off. Gee, we gotta plant a flag everywhere. Like, trying to spit it like it's an original idea. Like. But later on, had to watch the movie again and listen to what he's saying. So they're like, that's what we need to do, bro. There's not 11 of us, but
you're 100% correct. Like it's like that's the another blueprint, you know. And you guys talked about collaboration before. I think when I've talked to artists on this show, like on this podcast, like, and they talk about like you're gonna be a rapper, then you gotta have a producer, then you gotta have a videographer, then you gotta have someone does the posters, then you gotta have an artist, you know, do the posters and that, you know, that kind of stuff. There's a whole team behind your own that you have to fork out your own money for to promote yourself.
Yeah, it all comes down to money. You know, if you got no money, then you can't, like, you know, like pay for these things to help you get, like, all day, like, you know, you can, like, you know, like, you know, knowledge is key, but like in order for you to, like, you know, we can pick each other's brains as much as we want, but if there's no money involved into investing into what you love doing, you know, you gotta really like put, like, everything runs off money. And it's like as sad as it sounds, but like in reality, like, you know, see, this whole thing like costed like what you're saying, $400, you know, in order for you to make this happen, you know, it comes down to money. You gotta invest in yourself.
In order to make this happen at an optimal, like what you want it to sound like, it doesn't cost us to start. You know, like that's a lot of people, like I had that, like, oh, I can't because I can't afford it. But that shouldn't stop in, like, it's too Alibaba out here, baby. If you're gonna start with that light ass gold mic there's $1.69 off Temu, G, do it, bro.
Yeah.
You know, we did it. We did the, you know, we got the podcast set up. You know, we tried to branch out. We just started, like, we bought it, we just hooked it up, tried it. You know, and we just always run with it, like. But that can be something that can hold you back. But
see, the collaboration, like, if Wu-Tang Clan started for all these rappers getting together, why can't people in New Zealand or in Auckland start with not a group of rappers together, but a whole team, like the videographer, the beat maker, the artist, do the posters, that kind of team.
Split it.
Yeah.
You know, they got, I don't know if they got all those elements, but there's groups like Split It. They're, I don't know, like.
But they all have to be on the same page, huh?
And there's gotta be.
Sort of will probably be or also maybe even YGB, like.
Yeah.
YGB, that's Young Gifted and Break, that's like with Team Dynamite and Homebrew.
Sky Pirates now.
Sky Pirates,
yeah, all of that, you know. Why can't you? Because not everyone, where we at, where everyone is, we tried it, you know. The thing that happened was we didn't address the personal part of it. We tried to be a music group, but the boys stayed in the same house. We made some mistakes, you know, like they stayed together. We learned, like, maybe we can't all stay in the same house and try to function creatively while we're all bickering about who's gonna wash the dishes. You know what I mean, G? Like, it's just we're working backwards. We're like 2 steps forward, 4 steps, you know, 4 steps back. Like there's all these things. Like, that was the perfect storm. You know what I mean? It just happens. But for someone like me, bro, if I had the power, because I'm like an independent dude, like, I'm like, bro, I got Photoshop and all of that, and I make like 25%, no, 7% of what these dudes can create, but I created it, and it was for free, and I took, 12 hours to learn it all, but I did it. Now I can recreate it over and over, and I've learned new skills. I can keep building on it until... this is my thinking about it. So I do everything myself. I bought all the stuff. I upgraded all the stuff. I upgraded my software. I kept progressing my style, the way I record, how I record, and then I've started making my cover art. I created all my APRA, my recorded NZ, the things that a manager's supposed to do. You know, like create your EPK, your electronic press kit with photos that you can send off to publications, radio stations. You know, things that are professional, the way you should send it, you know, all of that stuff. I learned how to do it myself, and I just kept meeting good people, and if I kept going, I would have just kept shaking the right hands where people would be like, "Here, I'll look after you for a second," and that would have led me into the next part. I would have built. That's how you build a team. But the problem is people all come with agendas, and you can't tell. You know, and that's the pitfall of that game. But me thinking I'm a little bit smarter. You know what I mean? I got a good nose for bullshit, bro, and for bullshit character. So I feel like if I feel this dude can help me, I'm not trying to be like, come help me, propel me, and then eject booster, eject the fuel can. We are now in space. Like, you know what I mean, G? I'm the type of dude who's like, oh, shot, like, any way I can help you now, if you help me put myself in my position where I know I can be and create further opportunities to help sustain this. Like throughout this whole conversation, my theme is sustainability and viability of living this lifestyle. Not just the lifestyle, but being able to do whatever you want to do. If you want to be a painter, if you want, but speaking as a muser, as a hip hop rapper, whatever, I don't have the answer in this podcast. I hope that I can inspire the answer. Or someone can be like, he said this, and that, plus what I learned there equals, and then there's another evolution of the game. Those dudes might crack it. Those dudes might be like, bro, doesn't your dad like work for Canon? You know what I mean? And you got a couple fats. He knows how to record with wide lenses and edit and all of that. You know, some dude will inspire some other girls, you know. This might inspire someone, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just want, or someone might be inspired to come reach out to me and give me my shot or back me. But I don't know, wherever it goes, if it goes nowhere, if someone watches this and cracks some game from it, bro, that's going to be tough for me because I hope it'll level up the game. The ripple will create a wave somewhere down the line, you know?
I think what I've learned from listening to you guys is, you know, the game is a lot harder than you think. You're right. And I think, like, it's not just it's not just rapping. You got to do other stuff, you know. And I think with this age and social media and what people do out there, and you know, putting yourself out there and on lives and using social media as a tool to market yourself, like the game has gone into that sort of realm now. So it's, I think if you can try and find a way, like you talked about viability and all that kind of stuff, and I get that. Like as an artist, you want to put food on the table, you want to put a roof over your head, feed the kids, but you want to enjoy the art that you put out in the world,
100.
you know, and you want to do that every day.
Yeah.
Like wake up in the morning. I want to wake up in the morning and happy to get up and
I want them to see me.
Do some art, you know?
Yeah, I want them to be like, I want to be like my dad, you know what I mean? He just wakes up and does whatever. He walks us to school and does whatever he wants. He makes music, you know what I mean? I want my kids to be like, possibilities. Even if they want to take especially my kids, when I talk about the wider community and the culture, I think it always starts in my house, you know what I mean? And they will affect the community. You know, they'll affect their friends, and their friends will affect their family, and their family will affect the community. Like, if anything we can do and teach to our kids and our younger siblings and our community that can create a greater cultural ripple, that can bring something about positively. You know, community programs, funding, infrastructure, and education. You know, everything, health. Like, bro, Gang, like losing all that weight, like also trains at the same gym, you know, like that shit. He makes comedy videos. He's come so far. Now he's lost so much weight. It's inspiring a lot of people to join BBM, and like on all fronts. I think there's a great positivity that's yet to be fully tapped into. That I feel like we can all tap into, and if it doesn't affect New Zealand, all good. Let it affect our people. You know, let it affect our people in a positive way. Including, like, you know, Pacifica and Maoli, all together, all of us, you know. I hope it shifts that way, you know.
I think you guys have the knowledge. You guys have the tools. But I feel like you guys are close. You're trying to figure it out still, you know. But I think what it is at the end, whatever it is, it's beautiful, you know. And it's gonna be something that's gonna, you know, I think the end game for what you guys, I'm hearing you guys say, is what we want as artists, you know. And what we talked before about waking up in the morning and then doing what we love to do and then going to sleep and still putting food on the table, you know.
No, that's the main thing.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal, and I believe it's there. We just gotta. I'm still figuring it out. You know, you guys are figuring
just
it out.
all of us, you know, we're all figuring it out on our own, you know. So, and we all have our own lives to live, our own story, and how we move about on things, and you know.
But then it's how do we do that on our own if no one can help us?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, there's people that are helping, advice and that, but to really push it forward, you gotta take it in your own hands, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you hitting up, you know, everyone's mate drinking up with his workmate and making the intro and creating this opportunity. People don't know, bro, that uncle and auntie, mum and dad, at the fact that those conversations, those little links, that all counts too. People want dramatic change, and bro, be grateful and notice these small things that you letting us on here to be able to speak properly on a podcast. That's what I'm saying, like, you know, I'm sorry to be so long-winded all night. I'm just so excited to let all of this out and to be able to potentially share this with a lot of people. And, you know, I'm super grateful to for inviting me, for having us. You know what I mean? To be able to talk like this, you know?
But yeah, that's what platform's for. This long form. That's what I love podcasting. Because all of this is a conversation.
Yeah,
It's not an interview. It's not. I'm not really asking questions off the top of my head. Like I haven't got a piece of paper in front of me with questions, you know. But I just love the long form because it gives, like you said, it gives you a chance to sort things out over conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you can talk, and then you might think of something, but TV won't give you another chance to say it. If you're on the radio, they won't give you another chance to say anything. Like for this, that's why I'm proud of this platform because I let my guests talk their ass off because they probably can't get everything out in that.
Yeah.
Untrained to talk, you know, like talking is another like craft there. Like everyone starts the podcast and start again, so I don't know what to say.
It's good to come on here and also, you know, be ourselves and also share, like, you know, share what's on our mind and also just letting us speak and like what also said, like we're grateful for letting us, you know, be on here and also for coming as well. I knew they also would enjoy this because gee, the very lady was like saying like, bro, you gotta come to like the podcast is so cool. It's like it's not like, you know, the other podcasts like and then said it's like this is like a space for you to like, you know, like really like speak and it's like it's a West Side one day, like it was like putting out like the West Side.
It exists.
Playing poker, you know, and he's like, it's a West Side one day, but like, you know,
with the Friday,
just because you're close with my workmate, fuck. Alright then, South Side.
No man, I appreciate you boys coming on, man. It's been fun. So, so what's gonna happen now until Christmas? You guys, any tours or any shows or during the holidays or?
I didn't got a show until next year, Jan. Probably until Christmas. Yeah, nothing going on. Just, you know, the normal family festive vibes.
Yeah.
Gotta go back to Melbourne next week Thursday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Go for a wedding and go see the sus. Probably go and rap over there now.
Oh, for sure.
Perform at my sister's wedding. Perform at my sister's wedding and embarrass everybody.
Have you what's coming up?
Not much, bro. You know, I've been working flat out the whole year, you know? So all that time that I've been feeding for with my kids, like spend a little bit of extra time. Music, I'm gonna knuckle down hard and prepare for the new year to come. Cause I got hella music sitting there that just needs a few final touches instead of always creating new things and creating like more big vault of half finished things. I just finish a lot of these things, you know, and just really just give thanks and be with my kids and, you know, enjoy the family for the holiday season. Refresh for the next year because the game restarts again. You know, it's all clocking back to zero. Some people are ahead a little bit. Some people got a gold star, you know, got that little booster pack before the game starts again. But
we've been
me and Aya in the back, you know,
sitting on the fences, you know, just watching the baseball game play. I'm just like ready to get tagged in.
All day.
Or like once my offal's dry, like my uniform, I'm ready to complain now. And I got my song dropping on December the 17th. Man of the year. I'm excited for that drop. It's just the intro into the new year, you know, just let go of like this year.
You never know, bro. I I might just drop an EP or something or a couple. You know, music's always in the pipeline for us. But
all day.
again, the vision continues to grow bigger and bigger, and we'll see where it goes from here. You know.
Yeah, I learned a lot of things too as well. Stay Warriors, like just hearing the Usos. I love listening to the Usos speak. You know, especially like and this it's like when it's just me, you, and like the podcast. Like I just like listening to it because it's like I'm just sitting there quietly. Like they think I'm not like shy or anything. I'm just sitting there listening. Like. He's like Sharif.
Hurry up,
Sully. He's Sharif.
Sully, I've been waiting to make a point for ages.
Nah, but I came here just to listen, just as much as you. Like I came here
knew
to
that
actually,
I was gonna do this, and
I
every
wanted to
time I
learn some new
apologize,
things.
I always say sorry, Us. When we get in the car, like sorry, Us. I just like hijacked that, but I'm sorry. So.
That's the main reasons why I wanted him here. I wanted him to like share and talk, because like for over just over the past years of music, and it's gotten to this point where it's like, what am I up to? Like, I got all this music behind me that's probably like 3 years old now, like stacked up in the vault. Like, is it gonna still stay in the vault, or like? But I just needed also to come and talk so I can get some reassurance. Remember that I'm an artist at first. And that's the whole reason why we're here at this podcast, is to share like a mentality of an artist. And this is like an NZ. I look up to those as like,
and I look up to you.
One of like the biggest like examples of like, like a knowledgeable artist. Also like, and he's creative in his own way with like how he does music and stuff. And it's like, it's just fun to chill here with the homies and like just listen and laugh and,
Fine, I'll kiss you. Fine.
Shout out to the LGBTQ. I don't speak that way, but shout out to the LGBTQ community.
But shout out to you, Ace. Thank you for the high praise, and thank you also, Camps, for having us on. Again, thank you for bro. Time is non-refundable, bro, and you've given us a lot of it. And listen to me rant on, Jay, but I'll give you some peace tonight. Blessings. Thank you very much.
No worries, man. And keen to get you guys back on for catch up next year sometime.
Yeah, hopefully next year. Hopefully next year, G.
Next year we'll be skinny, so like, we're gonna be skinny next year. Hey.
Oh, get it there.
Solid.
So before you guys go, can you tell listeners where they can find you on your socials?
Oh yeah, you can find me at 449A'One, A'One, not 81. Some people get it confused and type down number 8 and 1, but yeah, 449A'One on IG. Yeah, that's the only thing I have at the moment is IG.
Big Zaddy OF. Nah. Nah, I'm just playing. Last joke for the night. Krook Letter on Instagram. KROOKLETTER. Krook Letter. IG, Facebook, IG, Twitter, all of that. But yeah, love.
Appreciate you guys also.
Nah, sure.
Thank you, Moso.
Too much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Fine, man.